kept hanging on, patiently waiting so long that by the time the ultimatums came, the clothesline cats I came with were gone. But go on. Talk was too loud. You were afraid of missing out. Yeah, and all those experts offered dicey reassurance in the presence of doubt. But I should know. Face the fallout all alone. 'Cause that pine box only seats one, and there's no one coming with when I go. So go on, talk that big, dark baby, point that bed toward the stands, as if those lofty expectations ever turn out as planned. Like how I bet my bottom dollar thinking that this could last, and I keep holding you forever, love, just to wind up holding the bag. So take your best shot, baby. You can make your demands, as encouraged by your neighbors with their heads in the sand. All I know is you planned your exit after planting your flag. Instead of promising forever, so tell me how I wind up holding all this unresolved resentment on the cards in my hand. Did I lack the basic knowledge it could wind up this bad? If you stayed and shook me down, I'd give you all that I am. You sold me on forever, darling, just to leave me holding the bag. It says a lot got in at the time. Yeah, when you pulled the rug, I had no safety net in place to offset the drop. I kept hanging on, patiently waiting so long that by the time the ultimatums came, the clothesline cats I came with were gone. But go on, take your best shot, baby. You can make your demands, as encouraged by your neighbors with their heads in the sand. You can pack it up and exit after planning your flag, but you promised me forever love, so how'd I wind up holding the bag? The talk was too loud. You were afraid of missing out. Yeah, and all those experts offered dicey reassurance in the presence of doubt. But I should know I'd face the fallout all alone. 'Cause that pine box only seats one, and there's no one coming with when I go. So go on, talk that big talk, baby. Point that bed toward the stands, as if those lofty expectations ever turn out as planned.
Hello everyone and welcome to another stream. How's it going? YouTube and Twitch. For those who missed it, I am multi-streaming now, as that is now allowed by Twitch TOS, so unless I can only do something on Twitch or YouTube, we're doing Twitch and YouTube every day. So that's cool. Welcome everyone from both audiences. Hope you're all doing well. On Twitch we are having a hype train. Let's see what's going on with that. 72% to level 3. Covering something I can't read it. Who is this first person who had a sub? Someone had 19 months and the hype train thing is covering it. Who is it? I got this. I got this. Someone subscribes. Starts with an S. Star Chick, I think? Yeah. Thank you for 19 months. Sorry that's getting covered, and if I got your name wrong, I apologize. If you're on YouTube, make sure you hit the like button for the stream. Overthought says, Happy Kissinger's Dead Day to all who observe. Everyone in my audience, probably. So congrats for all of us for just having an Earth that's a little bit less full of war criminals. Just a little bit. Brokagam, thanks for 30 months at tier 3. Wow, says wowzers, a simulcast. Yep, that's the standard now. Nice. I appreciate that Twitch changed that rule. It's nice. J Delphine, thanks for 20 months, says lunchtime stream. Neat. Yes, I should say, it is Dr. Baja's birthday today. So, we're doing an early stream because she's working right now. And then once she gets home and I'm done streaming, we're gonna go do birthday things. So that's gonna be fun. Happy birthday to my lovely wife. This is her first birthday as a doctor. That's nice. Hardlock Moses says Kissinger is dead. Overthought says, I heard Polte was consulting Kissinger on how to perform a successful Perform a successful and rather than help, he just, wait, perform a successful what? Successful coup, there it is. Rather than help, he just noped out. My video contrast seems a little blown out, like too high contrast. I'll fix it. Run Trip Fall, thanks for 15 months, says, oh, 15 months. Also, I never redeemed my sub baby name. This sub baby's name is going to be Porticelli Michelangelo. Yeah, I stand by that. Hardlock Moses, thanks for gifting 5 tier 1 subs. Creeper, thanks for gifting 5 tier 1 subs. Wow, 10 subs, thank you. And we're caught up 42% to level 4. Let's see if we can fix the contrast on this camera. I just got done doing an initial... I told you guys I was doing an interview for a documentary. Hydrate. I got interviewed for a documentary today about the meme stock BBBY stuff. Preliminary interview. The actual, like, full interview is gonna be later, once it's scheduled. But it was just to get a sense of, like, where I'm coming from, what I know, what I don't know. That's fun. I'm excited. I'm excited to be in that documentary. I'm excited to be a part of it. Configure this video. How's that? A little better? A little better? Does it need more? Next up, your own Netflix special? I do hope, like, I don't know if specific video is getting used in the documentary, because the guy who's doing it has multiple documentaries, which is, I'm shocked that he asked me anything, because his documentaries get like 4 million views on YouTube regularly. Million. Jesus Christ. But some of the documentaries have like actual interview clips and some don't, so I'm not sure if I'll be literally in it like this, or if I'll just be referenced, but it is interesting, or if I'll just use the information. Nondescript PHC, thanks for 24 months, says, wow, 2 years. Can't believe that, like, 2 years, the people who are, I've been doing this like 4.5. Like, since I started transitioning, basically. That's pretty cool. I'm sorry to hear that, Spokane Dog Man. Hope the stream brings you some laughs that could maybe distract you. Skifazoa says, you're early. Hannah is never early, nor is she late. Always perfectly. I've only seen Lord of the Rings once. I don't know the line. Don't make me do it. I don't know it well enough. So, 57% to level 4 on the hype train. Let's see what's going on YouTube. Maybe I just look brighter since it's noon? Maybe. Why watch on YouTube instead of Twitch? I feel like we're going to be forgotten. Well, both are available. I'm doing both. Both are happening. It gives you a choice. Oh, I figured out a way, I think, to add the chat back in. So let's do that. And we should be good. Gotta get this behind the thing, and we should be good. I think that does it. Is it a big deal to have chat on screen? People like it. It's also just good for posterity. I like having my streams archived, and I respond to people in chat, so it just helps to actually have it showing, I think. At least that's how I feel about it. Alrighty, so let's get into it. Meme stock stuff. Very excited to talk about this. You're boycotting Twitch, but because they banned Poly, fair enough. It gives people options. This is why I like this. If you want to use YouTube, use YouTube. If you want to use Twitch, use Twitch. It's up to you. Whichever you prefer. So, the PP show. The PP show is still going on despite the fact that stock has been canceled for 2 months now. A little over 2 months, specifically. Whole day meetup's still supposed to take place on the 14th. It's apparently taking place in an airplane hangar. And by airplane hangar, you're probably picturing something bigger than the picture he posted. More like a 5-car garage, which is not small. I don't have a 5-car garage, I have a 2-car garage. But you know, I also probably wouldn't invite 175 people if I did have a 5-car garage, because that doesn't seem big enough for 175 people. By the way, if the audio sounds better, I added a noise gate. Look at that. Figuring things out to sound better. Cool beans. As long as it saved it still. Let me actually double check. It did. It saved my filters. We're good. Anyway, let's see what Morance is up to before we get into the PP stuff. Oh, the GME thing. I need to point this out. The GME people are kind of freaking out because the stock jumped a bunch yesterday. It went up to $17 because, you know, that happens sometimes. Stock goes up. And they're celebrating despite it being down year to date, year over year. Like, it's been down since the spike in 2021, and it's already settling back down from the 17 price yesterday and continuing to drop. Now it's down to 1460. So anyway, they're of course going to count their chickens before they hatch. That'll be interesting. Take a look.
Guys, I know it's late night and GameStop's still running. I'm watching it on Robinhood.
Surprised I'm not doing Kissinger Death Party. You know, I respect people who do that and want to talk about what a shitbag he is. He is. Was. I'd prefer to just not think about him anymore. I think that's the best. Well, not necessarily. It's good to remember evil people so history doesn't repeat itself, I guess. But I don't care to take another second of my life thinking about that man. He's dead. How many lives did he destroy? He's not worth remembering other than as a black spot on history. Don't be like him. That's the moral.
It's 24 hours
73 motorcycle modem. Thank you for 16 months.
over there. 1607.
GameStop earnings will be positive, just saying. Oh yeah, probably. Yeah, this quarter they're going to be for sure. Ryan Cohen did a ridiculous amount of cutting in terms of like benefits, hours, stuff like that. He is very clearly trying to, as his first quarter as the CEO, manufacture the most successful quarter they've had in years. That way it gives the impression, wow, he's doing really well, when in reality, all he's done is clear cut the forest where he's supposed to be, you know, maintaining the trees, you know? He's making short-term decisions to manufacture profit, or at least a higher profit than they would actually have without all these cuts, in order to make it look better.
7 right now. Aftermarket already ran 30% today. What a hell of a run, but we know
Those cuts didn't happen till this quarter. That's fair, and that's going to reflect in the fourth quarter as well. But it doesn't really matter, because those things can still be applied in some ways, accounting-wise, to previous quarters. Like, they can say... what am I trying to say here? I always get too deep in the weeds with the GME stuff. Let me go back for a second. Ryan Cohen is going to try his best to make the company look profitable. And they're probably going to have a small profit this quarter, as well as a slightly larger one next quarter, because we're in December. That's usually their best quarter, as is the case with all retail. The gains, the rather increase in profit that he's going to try and show, it's a thing, but it's not indicative of a strong future for the company. Let me put it that way. The cuts he is making are short-term gain that are going to look good on paper if you ignore the entire context in which the business is happening and the effect that these cuts and other decisions by him are going to make on the future of the company as a whole. So yes, I would agree. This upcoming, on the 6th, I believe they're doing their earnings. I'd imagine they're going to show a profit somewhere in the 1 to 50 million range. That's a guess. I know it's a big range, but it just depends. I don't know how much is going on with them. They're going to show a small profit. It's still going to be eclipsed by their losses in previous quarters and subsequent quarters that are going to happen after fourth quarter this year, like in first, second, third quarter next year, are probably going to be a bloodbath. But he'll get a couple profitable quarters, and this is speculative. If I were a GameStop person, I would be horrified that he's doing all these cuts right now, because to me, it looks like he's trying to make the company look like he's fixing it, make it look like he's going to, look, Q3 was profitable, Q4 was profitable, I fixed the company. All right, bye everyone. And then he sells and leaves because he, at least perception-wise, fixed the company, when in reality he's making short-sighted decisions that are not doing anything to actually fix the longevity of the business or the sustainability of the outdated business model. He just wants to cut until the revenue exceeds all their expenses. The problem is a lot of those expenses were necessary for the health of the company. Right. Anyway,
What this is.
I actually do like having you on, by the way, Uber Tendies. Like, you're one of the meme stock people who's come on, and like I feel like I can talk about this without like it being weird and like angry, because I don't want that. I think that's unreasonable. We're talking about stock in GameStop or Bed Bath & Beyond, which doesn't exist anymore. It's not something worth getting worked up about. So I appreciate your like perspective. I really do.
Is right before earnings comes out, what are you going to do? Close your position? Rest in peace to Charlie Munger. That was sad after reading that. 99 years old, lived a good life. Like I said, you can't outlive time. And right here, GameStop, these shorts can't outlive time. They're never going to make it, guys. You're talking about from 11 to 16 in one day.
Again, the thesis here is that you believe that the company is incredibly short-sold, not just short-sold, but you specifically believe that it is like illegally short-sold through synthetic shorts. A thesis that does not hold up to any amount of scrutiny. So if your thesis is based on you need there to be a bunch of short sellers, like a ton, that are illegally shorting the stock in order for your thesis to work, you already failed because your initial premise is wrong.
What's tomorrow? 20? What's the next day? 25, 30? You don't think it...
This is one great Kissinger thing. Oh God, what is it?
Where the Secretary and I have a very profound difference. In the last debate, I believe in her book, very good book, by the way, in her book and in this last debate, she talked about getting the approval or the support or the mentoring of Henry Kissinger. Now, I find it rather amazing because I happen to believe that Henry Kissinger was one of the most destructive secretaries of state in the modern history of this country. I am proud to say that Henry Kissinger is not my friend. I will not take advice from Henry Kissinger. And in fact, Kissinger's actions in Cambodia, when the United States bombed that country, overthrew Prince Sihanouk, created the instability for Pol Pot and the Khmer Rouge to come in, who then butchered some 3 million innocent people, one of the worst genocides in the history of the world. So count me in as somebody who will not be listening to Henry Kissinger.
Baha was sharing with me yesterday an Anthony Bourdain quote about Kissinger, and it was something along the lines of, Bourdain was a chef that also did a travel show where he traveled around and did chef stuff and tried different cuisines and stuff. And in one of his books or something, he mentioned, like, like, once you go to Cambodia and see the legacy of Henry Kissinger, like, you will never be able to, like, look at any article in the United States discussing Henry Kissinger like he's just some political guy, like he's not a monster that should be arrested and in prison and shouldn't have been in prison for decades. Like, just interesting. How the fuck did Kissinger outlive Bourdain? Disgusting. Evil must keep you alive. I know that's like a trope, but like, what the fuck? What the fuck?
It runs this way. A lot of us have been watching this stock for years. We're used to this. We really are. We've been doing it forever. And these swings don't get even, like, they don't even get me, like, butterflies going or anything. Some people who don't know the stock or some people don't know how this works, yeah, you can't get to me. I was pumped. I was at work. I had my GameStop shirt underneath.
What are you even talking about? Like, you're looking at this and saying little dips. Like, the story of GME right now is not a story of little dips. The story of GME currently, if we're gonna go with the whole story thing, is that in 2021, it peaked because there was basically a big meme about it that was also coupled with an actual position where short sellers were pretty over-leveraged on their positions in GameStop, fair enough. But the big spike was mostly because of people piling in for memes, and then ever since then, it has just been a cascading failure of price dropping. Like, there's nothing about this that you can say is a narrative about, oh, little dips. No! It's not been trading sideways, it's not going up and down, it's been going consistently down since 2021.
Just because I
Polyaz's Cracker, thanks for 22 months, says, hello all, sorry I'm late. No problem. One demerit.
saw it run, and I was like, you know what? Hopefully, I just take GameStop with me. My original GameStop shirt, the one I wore in my first video ever. Yeah, I own this thing, and I love it, and I love to see it happen. But fundamentals this company are going to shine through once earnings comes. I'm excited tonight. I can barely sleep, only because I want to see what's going to happen tomorrow.
It seems like the only fundamentals, and to be clear, when I'm talking about Morance versus, like, the PP people, there is a difference, and here's the difference. Morance treats me like a human being. So I will do the same in return. I try to do the same for the PP people, but, you know, there's a little stank and sarcasm on it because they are, overall, kind of dicks. But Morance, as much as I disagree with him, has been kind to me, right? And I think that's fair. Someone's kind to you, be kind to them. I will do the same here. Morance seems to think that the only fundamentals that matter are how much cash on hand does the company have, and how much debt does it have. Now, don't get me wrong, those are important fundamentals. In many cases, they can be the cornerstones of problems or successes in businesses, but it's not the totality of the picture. You're missing the forest for the trees, and I get it. I get why you like those trees. They're very good for your narrative. But the forest is telling a different story, and the story it's telling is, hey, yeah, they can be profitable at small scale, maybe? But right now, physical games are dying. There isn't a stable future in your company making money as a company that pretty much has a history of only making money by selling used games. And I've talked to GameStop people who have said, like, an Uber attendees, I think, has said, like, oh, do you know what they make the most money on? Hardware. Yes. That wasn't the case when they were their most profitable. That's a bad thing. They'll say, oh, they don't rely on used games for their profit. Their most profitable sector has been hardware for years. That's bad, because their entire business model is circled around the used games because they have such a big margin on them. It's no longer as profitable as the hardware, not because all of a sudden hardware made them way more money, but because the used game sector, the backbone of their business, stopped being profitable. That's a problem. That would be like saying, let's say McDonald's was going out of business, right? Let's say McDonald's was doing very poorly for some reason. This is just a random example. And their best seller's the Big Mac, right? Their best seller's the Big Mac. And I say, oh, wow, the company hasn't been doing very well. I don't think there's a future in the Big Mac market. People hate Big Macs for some reason. You can digitally download Big Macs. So they don't want to buy physical Big Macs and trade them in at the store anymore. So you say, but they sell French fries. Okay, that's true. Maybe they do sell French fries, and maybe that's the thing they make the most money on now, but the problem is right now they aren't profitable year over year because they're relying on the French fries instead of their former biggest seller, Le Big Mac. See what I mean? You can't say, well, they make most of their money now on hardware without recognizing that's because their business model of selling used games has collapsed, and that's why they have had loss after loss after loss after loss. I don't think they've had a profitable year. Is it 7 years? Has it been 7 years since they've had a profitable year? Yeah, that's not sustainable. It's great if you don't have debts and you have cash on hand, but if your primary business model has entirely collapsed and you're relying on a secondary product that has never had huge margins for you, that isn't profitable for you currently, you're kind of fucked, aren't you? Because the collapse of, like, used gaming hasn't even ended. It's an ongoing process. Like, I think right now 80% or so of video games that are new are sold digitally. That's not good for GameStop. It's just not. It just isn't. There's still a place to go, too. That means there are some people still buying physical. They won't be forever.
Tomorrow. That's it. Volume, about 4.5%, like we talked about.
Hardware is highest revenue, not necessarily profitable. Collectibles is most likely their profitable revenue source. Oh, it's even worse than I thought then. That's not good. So they're selling a lot of hardware, but they're not making money on it. That's not good. Oh, they really are fucked. And their second, you think their second biggest thing, and I'll say, hey, you know more about it than me, clearly. Collectibles is their most profitable revenue source. That's not good. Funko Pops are not a growth market. And surely you know that, right? Like, you know that the whole, like, that aesthetic of the, like, 2010s of, like, Funko Pops and nerd stuff and Big Bang Theory. Bazinga is, you know, like, wearing shirts of, like superheroes and stuff. Don't get me wrong, people still do that, and there's nothing wrong with that, but it was kind of a thing. It was like a fad. It was a general thing in the zeitgeist where the Marvel movies were big, and, you know, sci-fi was big, and people were kind of having fun with that stuff. I'd imagine sales in that kind of thing are down. You don't see as much stuff like that, and when you do, it's usually marked way down. So that's not a really good idea for the future of GameStop either, right?
So that's not too bad, but I've seen days where we've done, 20, 30 million shares. I remember when we did 50 million, almost 100 million at one point back in like March. So March of 2021. But we're here today, $16. Even my wife, I walked up to my wife, I go, hey babe, GameStop looks good, $15. She said, $15? She's like, we're not going out at 60. I don't know, we're not going out anytime soon. Like, we're never going out. She's like, I know. But it was just sad. It's just letting you know that it still has legs, plenty of it. And I'll get back to you guys. I'll be live at some point this week. On Friday, I'll definitely be live. But come tomorrow, if I find time, I will go live. But I'm not going to rush it. I'm not going to run at it. But everyone else out there taking these victory laps and seeing what it is, congratulations. A lot of you bought shares underneath this price. So shout out to everyone else.
That is actually funny. Yeah. Theoretically, you could have made a profit at this point. If you bought GameStop, and somehow got your price average down by buying just a fuck ton when it was like 12 the other day, you could hypothetically be profitable right now. If so, I hope you sold when it was at $16, $17 yesterday, because it's already back down to 14. Look at that cat bounce. Raining cats these days, goddamn.
Else out there, guys, if you know who you are, all the people that support the channel, people that watch what GameStop is, just know, when we were talking about it and you guys were doubling down at 15, 14, 16, we told you those are good prices. And we said 12 and 11 is severely undervalued. You saw Illuminati come out of the woodwork. You saw this other guy, Dan Olson. You saw Hannah come out. All these haters of the stock come out, right?
I'm not a hater. Why do they do this? I'm not a hater. I just like reality. And I find it interesting that you guys don't like reality sometimes. Being a little mean to Morance, considering he's been very nice. But Morance, genuinely, it's nothing about hate. I don't have a personal opinion on GameStop other than I don't think it's a good company when I go in there, and I go in there sometimes. I feel like Morance might think, and some of these people might think, that because I'm, not bullish on the future of GameStop, oh, I must just be uninformed. I haven't been in a GameStop since 2008 or whatever. I don't know what I'm talking about. No, I go to GameStop. I have GameStops around me. I go to them. I don't usually buy things. I don't remember the last time I bought something there. But I go in because I cover this stuff. And I try and, I don't know, have a down-to-earth view of the thing I'm talking about. And fundamentally here what we are talking about is the future of a retail store. So I go in every few months. I find myself in one. I look around. I see what the merchandise is like. I see the vibe of the store. I see how many people are around. Chat with the employee. I don't ask them anything. I'm not a weirdo. I'm not like, oh, I do a thing online. Do you want to? No. But, I have just a normal chat like a human being, and they're usually nice, and I'm a gamer, so I have plenty to talk about with them. usually they don't seem, and this is of course subjective, but to me it doesn't seem like they're having a good time. Doesn't seem like they're having a good time. There usually aren't very many people in the store. The stores vary from passable to kind of dingy. And the stock is confused. I think the stock is confused. When I go into a GameStop and I look around, what I see is a store that doesn't quite know what it wants to be. It kind of knows a demographic it's looking for. Younger, tween, teen, young adult, boys, maybe? It's better now, I guess. They have more, like, other stuff, but it used to have kind of a vibe of, like, a dude bro place. Not so much now. I'll give them credit for that. It's broadened out where, like, you know, I don't feel like I'm in a dude space anymore. So good on them for that. Not that there's anything wrong inherently with that, just, you know, you want to get a bunch of people in to buy stuff, it helps to be welcoming. So anyway, when I go in, you see, generally, the systems, or rather the sections of used games that they all have in different sections. Switch, PlayStation, Xbox. Usually they still have currently, like, PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 5. I find it interesting that they still have PS4. Makes sense. Tons of people still have PlayStation 4s. Feels like it's a longer amount of time than they kept previous gen stuff on their shelves than in former generations. I actually think that's a good move, because that makes sense. Tons of people own PlayStation 4s, and if you want to be in the used game market, it makes sense to continue to stock products from older things that might not be sold in other places or easily online. I think that's a direction that they should move, is doing more retro gaming stuff, because that's a market where used games are still sold primarily as physical. I think that makes sense. Now, can that be profitable at the scale that they're at? Probably not. Places have local shops around. Like, for instance, there's a place I go to that's a combo DVD, Blu-ray, used game, you know, retro game store. They exist. But could it exist on a huge scale like GameStop? I don't know. I don't know if that scales up. I don't know if there's enough people interested in niche used media to keep it going. But at the very least, it would be an identity. And right now, it feels like when you go into a GameStop, you go, okay, video games, cool. The selection isn't amazing most of the time, but they have the staples, so that's fine. And then, like, half the store, including the top, is, like, half Funko Pops and other plastic crap most people don't want. And the other half is PC parts, because they're kind of half-assedly trying to get into the PC market, so people can come in and, you know, buy PC components and build their own computers. Hydrate. I don't think they're going to probably be able to get around stuff like Newegg. Again, it's kind of bound up by the fact that it's a brick and mortar store.
Right. So I'm not here
Dan Olsen is pure propaganda.
to mend fence.
How do you feel about the fact that Dan Olsen's previous videos have been about things like Flat Earth and QAnon? Are those propaganda videos the ones where he debunks Flat Earth? Like, I'm just curious, like, why in your head, if you believe that the meme stock video by Dan Olsen is propaganda, what changed between his videos that were about Flat Earth and QAnon or stuff like that, and now? What changed? I'm very curious to hear your thought. Like, why did all of a sudden you assume those videos are honest, but you think this isn't? Morance has more viewers on live than you. I'm very happy for Morance. Something about line goes down. Read his interview from 2021. He changed his style and he wanted to go bigger, in his own words. Yes? And? What about that is propaganda? Go bigger? What about that implies that he's lying? I feel like you're reading into something that you think is obvious that isn't, so I'd like an explanation. Also, if Morance is live and wants to talk, I'd be happy to talk right now. Like I said, Morance has been nice to me, genuinely. We disagree, but it's not like the PP situation, you know? The PP people suck and are rude. To you and me. But I feel like you and I could have a conversation and disagree, and it would be fine. And if all else fails, we'll make fun of pee-pee together. That'd be fun. But anyway.
I'm not here to step and be like, hey, I wish all retail investors would get along. Nah, I'm still calling out every single person that talks that shit. You know who I am, and I'm not going to change my tune now. I told them 3 years.
It's interesting, this like enemy complex that comes up in meme stocks, right? People aren't your enemy if they disagree with you.
Years ago, I told them 2 years ago, I told them a year ago, and I told them last night. It's GameStop. Can't stop, won't stop, GameStop. You know where to find me.
Oh wait, this person says, why you only talking about us with that hate? It's obvious you're getting paid to bash GameStop. You are fake. I'm sorry. I'm not, though. I'm not fake. This is interesting. This is one of the things that I think is the most interesting about the meme stock communities, is your automatic reaction that anyone who disagrees with you must be coming at you with ill intent or must be a paid shill. Like, is it really? Do you not understand why someone might disagree with you? Do you not understand why someone might disagree with you? Because that's unhealthy. It's really unhealthy, and that sounds judgmental. I'm trying to watch my tone, because I don't ever want to come off as judgmental, and I do that a lot. It's not healthy for you or me or anyone to assume automatically that because someone disagrees with you that they are your enemy or being paid to do so. That is generally a quite paranoid belief that is indicative of conspiratorial thinking. We're all victims of that from time to time. It's something we all should keep an eye on. It's just not good.
Punks. And one last thing.
Just admit I'm getting paid to bash GameStop. Did you listen to anything I said? This is what I'm talking about. No, I'm not.
Hey.
Like, to what end?
Don't mistake my kindness for weakness. Don't mistake the fact
He's not talking about meme stocks. He's talking about GameStop. You did it. You did it. You semanticked your way into thinking you won the argument. Yeah.
I've been gone for 3 weeks, 2 weeks. I've been working, I've been grinding. It was the holidays, and I want to spend it with my wife and my
I haven't seen Dumb Money. Dumb Money to me seemed like bullshit. And again, like, I don't have a problem with, like, Keith Gill, DFE, whatever the fuck his name is. I think he's fine. But I also think that the way that it seemed like they were portraying him in the documentary was not accurate. Like, he was like a licensed stock trader. Like, he wasn't just some random guy. Don't get me wrong, he also wasn't a giant hedge fund. That's perfectly fair to point out. But I feel like the trailers at least infantilized him a little bit, and I don't think that's fair to him or honest about what the situation was.
family. But there's going to be a time where I become a hermit and a hobbit.
Oh my god, the person. This is the best. This is the best comment. I'll read it. I'll even do a voice. I can smell you. You're getting paid for it. You can smell that I'm getting paid for it? Did you just say that with your words? Think about what you just said. And think about if you heard someone say that about literally anyone else in any other situation. Would you think that that person seemed stable? Overthought says, I disagree that Hannah's getting paid to bash GME. Wait. Zealous, thanks for 30 months, says Hannah is the ultimate shill. Old enough to know better now, says here, now you're being paid to talk about GameStop. There you go. Peep Lord says, I'm not fake. Hannah, literally a lizard.
I just go ahead and start hibernating with this damn thing again, where I'm just shooting out video after video after video. You keep waiting for that time. It's going to come again. Me, I found my legs. I found my motivation. I'm getting excited. Connect the Dots Part 50, still grinding. It's going to take me weeks to finish, only because I'm going in every damn direction. But while that's going on, GameStop's still murdering the scene, and I'm excited for it. So you guys enjoy your night. If you're falling asleep right now, get your ass up. Pre-market's about to open in a couple hours, and I'll still be around. You know what it is. Peace, millionaires, peace. Welcome back. Welcome back to Morance Rants. Plenty of good information, a little bit of motivation, whole lot of truth, no financial advice. One.
We certain got the outro memorized. Good. Now everyone's sniffing me in chat. Why have you Jen says, I'm reminded of someone accusing Miles Power of being a shill, and he said, if I was being paid, do you think I'd be sitting in my shitty attic? That's true. That's true. This is also the second floor of a house. This is just my home office. Dr. Gamble says, Hannah right now.
We've got to have more money.
Good clip.
Hi guys, welcome back to Morance Rants. Plenty of good information, a little bit of motivation, a whole lot of truth, no financial advice. Yes, they're shorting GameStop even now. Now we've seen it run the last 2 days. It's up around 30 to 40%. Had a good run today, came back down to 16, but far away from $11 a share.
I thought someone
now
said
it's around
Morance was
16,
live.
17.
Didn't someone say Morance has more live stream viewers than me right now? He's not live unless is he somewhere else? I thought he was live. I was gonna watch his live.
And flirted
That face.
with 18. But let's show you something, okay?
Bye, Gabriel. Try not to lose more money.
This chart is going to show you how the shorts, the reported short interest, doubled down. Yes, even while it's
That's probably a smart thing to do.
running. I want you guys to understand. GameStop ran. Boom. $5, whatever it may be. I'm just ballparking the number. It's running. It's killing it. Look at the volume. Look at everything. And they're still shorting it. They're still...
Yes, because they still believe, like many people do, reasonably. You don't have to agree, but you also can't really say that the bear thesis is unreasonable. That GameStop is overpriced right now. The current price is like, what is it, like double, if not triple, what it was in their most profitable years? Again, those years being during the Wii, Xbox 360, when used games were the biggest part of their revenue. It's overpriced. That's simple.
Pressing the price. Because today, the amount of volume that was reported short, 33 million shares reported short, right? 60% of the float.
What am I invested in, all of you? I'm invested in the children. The children are our future. No, I don't day trade. I do not day trade. Made money on GameStop, though, if that makes you feel better. I did buy in 2021 and sold when it was like 3-something, so I made a little money. Not much. Like in the under 1,000. It was like a couple $100 or something. But it was fun. So if that helps, there was a little period where I did that.
Itself. 68% yesterday, 9 million shares. So I don't know what the reported short number is as of yet. I'm just telling you it's being suppressed. It's being held down. And what is it running to? Let's look at this really quick. This
Mr. Pizza Pasta with 24 months says I'm paying all of your haters, and you can't disprove that.
is going to be
That's true. I don't have any real haters because I'm so likable. How could anyone ever disagree with me? I'm never wrong.
how many calls are in the money as of today. That represents around 3.2 million shares, as you know.
Did you look... Wait, just one last question for you, Hannah. Did you looked on GameStop balance sheet? Yes, they haven't been profitable in 7 years.
No, each call contract represents 100 shares. If they were to exercise...
No, you didn't bought GameStop. I know it. No, you don't. I mean, you think you know it. That's interesting, though. If you want to have a discussion about how do we know what we know, we can do it. I'm sorry. For comedic effect, I'm being pretentious. I shouldn't do that. I'm being mean. God damn it. No, I understand that you think I'm lying. I'm not. I talked about it, I think, at the time, or I've talked about it many times. I made a little bit of money on GameStop. I also made a little bit of money on Disney. Lost a little bit on AMC. Not much, though. It was in the, like, $20, $30 range. I didn't have much. It was basically play money. I was just having fun for a little bit after the GameStop thing. And then I stopped, because gambling's never really been my thing. I actually have a pretty addictive personality for some things. Not gambling, though. I got pretty lucky about that one. Just doesn't interest me. Doesn't do anything for me. But yes, I did buy into GameStop, made a little money, sold. Which is what you're trying to do when you buy stock if you are day trading. So, overall, relatively successful, fun little thing I did. Didn't have an interest in continuing, and then this stuff started, and it's just an interesting thing to talk about. I don't know how to read. Wait, you don't know how to read balance sheet. I can read profits versus losses. I can look at their business model and their stores and see the trend in the industry that they're in and make reasonable future predictions about that. Like, these are just my opinions. I'm by no means saying that I'm objectively correct. It's entirely possible that 10 years from now GameStop will still be around, although I think it would have a much smaller footprint. But even if it does exist, its current, like, valuation is absurd. Like, it just is not in line with the value of the business. Amit Gardner says, like, Wu-Tang, Hannah is for the children. I don't know Wu-Tang things. I wish I did. Twin Drills with a $2 super chat says, hello, I'm from the anti-GameStop lobby. Good work. Cha-ching. Tell Kenny I'll see him at the Christmas party.
32,000 are in the money.
The anti-GameStop echo chamber is pathetic. Interesting.
It's a big number for GameStop.
Sorry, I like when the actually, it's just interesting. I like people's perspectives. That's why I do this for a living. I find it interesting, even when I don't agree. Trying to understand why people believe the things they do is so cool.
13,000 are out of the money. Run it up to $20, you get about 4,000.
Open now the balance sheet and show me what is wrong. Okay, let's look at their profits over the last 10 years. Have you noticed that in the last 7, they haven't made a yearly profit? Have you noticed that their used game sales are down? And that was the most profitable part of their business previously? Those are things to note. Fort Ward with a $10 super chat says, joke's on all of you. Hannah's been shilling for me all along. It's part of my face turn. Ooh, I like this arc.
You run it up to $30. You started selling $30 contracts today, and it went really high. But check this out. You guys ready? What are we really running into? What we do every year, the biggest week for contracts. That third week in.
Hey, Morance, you want to do a call or something right now? We don't have to right now if you don't want, but like I'm open to it.
January, second week in January.
Like I said, I don't know if you were here earlier. Like, I'm completely open to a polite conversation. You've been nothing but, like, nice to me and friendly, you know? That's fine. We can disagree and have a discussion. That's cool. And we can make fun of pee-pee together. We both like that.
Or whatever it may be. You're going to see GameStop run into 199,000 contracts are sitting there. If this stock runs any higher, guys, if it can get into the 20s and 30s with earnings coming out.
Let you know when. Right now? Right now. Let's do it now. You want to talk? Do you have like do you use Discord? I don't know what you normally use for calls.
You're going to have a real gamma ramp in front of you. I know they just opened the book on January 5th, and that's fine. You already see how many are in the money, 262. But I promise you, if this runs, if the guys out there setting these traps.
At least GameStop stock still exists, unlike Bed Bath. True.
These option traps on the backside. Remember, longs versus shorts. There's a huge war out there. We're in the middle of this war. We're just watching it. We can't even influence it one bit. I don't want to hear retail makes the mountain move and all this. No. Hedge funds are fighting each other right now. And
yes, I'm talking to people in YouTube chat for those who are on Twitch.
the shorts have been winning for so long. The bulls have been winning for so long. Distressed credit investors have been winning for so long. Investing with all these other
That'll be a fun discussion. I think that'd be great.
meme stocks.
You have Discord? Cool. If you can someone do a Discord command in the YouTube chat? You want to do it right now? Join the Discord that I have, and we'll do a Discord call on. I have a channel in the Discord called. In the voice channel, it's called The Waiting Room. If you'd go in the Waiting Room, I'll pull you into the chat for streaming stuff, and we can talk. Oh, you're free Friday? Okay, that's fine. Wait, let me double check. Friday. Tomorrow. I don't think so. I think that's good. That sounds good. If you join the Discord or just find me on there and DM me or friend me or whatever, and we'll set up a time.
But when it comes to GameStop, they have something. They have something that no one else has. They have people that are diamond handing these shares because there is no volume for a whole 2 years. Has been
Sounds good. Genuinely. Morance, I want you to know, and I know that there's a lot of hostility in discussions of GameStop and like Bed Bath & Beyond and stuff and AMC. I just want to be clear. I have nothing against you personally. I'm sure you're a nice guy. You've been nothing but like kind and polite to me, even in our disagreements. I know we both have been a bit snarky because we're on the internet. We have an audience. We're entertaining people while also trying to inform them of our positions on things. But I got nothing against you, and I look forward to actually having a discussion. So I hope you feel the same, and we can go into it in good faith and chat.
no volume. And we know that until today. And today, just go ahead and divide it by 4. Where does it put you? About 15 million shares. You haven't seen that in about a year and a half. So I remember it. It feels great to watch it go up and down, whatever it may be. But me personally, we're not even close. I'll see you on this side of this. I really will. I'll be making the videos. I'll go ahead and go live on Friday. I want to see if we can run into that $20 atmosphere. We have 2 days to do it, guys. Hey, hedge funds, figure out what you guys want to do. The longs.
Also, Morance and I are getting interviewed for the same documentary. You know, I told you guys that I'm doing that interview for the documentary. Morance is also.
Versus the short.
Or at least he has some communication with the documentary people, to my knowledge. Morance mentioned it in a previous video recently. He mentioned the guy.
Just remember, those shorts eventually have to go long, or else they're toast. GameStop, can't stop, won't stop, GameStop. Did you see that volume? 33 million reported short. Huh. How are you gonna explain 30 million more short? Hey, that's 10.
Okay, the way that I would explain it is because they think the price is going to go down, and if they open short positions, like yesterday, for instance, when the price was $17 or $16, then they already won because the price is lower today. So they could just right now go, oh, it's lower by a couple bucks. All right, let's just buy those shares back, take our profit, and move on. Short sales are usually for shorter periods of time because the longer you have a short position, the more it costs to maintain because you're paying interest on the share, you know? So they don't usually last for a super long time. Anyway. Hannah's under the impression now that she saw Morance inviting her. Oh, you're in the waiting room? Are you really? Oh, this is actually Morance, right? Let me double check. Just want to double check. It is. Okay, cool. Exciting. Let's have a discussion then. Hello? Oh, maybe my stuff isn't. 1 second. Sorry, I gotta change my output for this. I think I can't hear you. Voice and video. Oh. Hello?
Yes, ma'am. Can you hear me?
I can. How you doing?
Perfect. I'm outstanding. I don't know if you're live still.
I am.
Okay, perfect. I don't know if you want to show the camera or if you just want to talk. I don't know. How
I
you
can,
do it.
whichever you'd like to do. Oh, good. Okay, yeah, let's do a video then. Let me switch some stuff up with my streaming, and we're good.
Absolutely.
Thanks for coming on, by the way. I appreciate it.
Hey, no problem. Appreciate the invite.
Mhm.
Hopefully, I have no feedback or anything.
It sounds good from what I can. I think.
Okay, because I usually just keep it quiet on. I know the stream's playing on my other screen, but I won't show it so that I can have, because I know like whenever I have people on the show, it's the same way. So there you go. I wonder if I should post and tell them to watch your show right now.
If you'd like.
Got a whole. Well, they're the ones who told me. Like my whole crew told me. I'm getting ready for work right now. They said, "Hey, Hannah's on right now live. She's reviewing some of the content." And I said, "Oh, that's cool." I was watching. I was like, "Well, I'm here," so that's why I messaged you back.
All right. Well, that's just about set. So, How's it going? It is good to actually talk to you. I know we've had some back and forth in videos and stuff, and like I said,
Sure.
I appreciate that even though we have differing opinions on this, that it's not a situation where we're like shitty to each
Well,
other. And if I have been in the
I'm not.
past, I apologize. I apologize.
I don't take it that way.
Okay.
I've been doing this for a long time, so I don't take it that way. And I'm pretty cavalier, when at times.
Yeah.
But you have a belief. You tell me that from what I can see and from what I've seen, is you're not a believer in GameStop per se.
No.
And that's okay. It's okay. I've been doing my homework on GameStop for a long time. But I make these videos, and sometimes people get the update videos and they don't know the whole story or the origins of where we're coming from. Me personally, like why I follow it and why I trust retail and Ryan Cohen so much. But I'm down to have the conversation with you anytime. It's your show. I'll let you run it.
Okay. So I guess I would just say I think the fundamental disconnect is that, from what I've seen at least, you primarily focus on the fact that they have like no debt, which fair enough. Oh yeah, they have no debt and a ton of cash on hand. Those seem to be your 2 points. And because of that, you assume that the company is going to continue and just grow and grow and grow. And I guess what I don't understand is the how. Like they would potentially, if
Sure.
they acquired something, sure, or if they pivoted the business like really hard, sure. I'm not saying that they couldn't. They certainly have the cash on hand to do it. I haven't necessarily seen an actual plan other than failed gesturing at Web3 stuff.
Yeah, initially that can be the outlook and or what it looks like. But we'll go back a little bit. Right now, I'm happy that they're not doing anything. I don't want them to do anything. I'm not looking for them to spend any money trying to grow per se. I want them to be really good at what they do, i.e. e-commerce and the brick and mortar side. And so if they can generate a profit off of that, now we're at zero. That's how I see it as of right now. But I look at the leadership style of Mark Vadden and how they're mimicking that. And he just happens to be the former CEO of Chewy.com, but he also is the CEO of Zulily and Blue Nile, right? The diamond company. So this is over the last 25 years, while Amazon has existed and all these downturns in the economy, he's managed to become a billionaire doing the business that way. You select a couple of key categories, things that Amazon's not great at just yet, and you try to make some profit off of it. So that's where gaming comes into play. Obviously, the pet products worked out, and the child and women's apparel worked out in the past. So I think that's what Ryan's trying to do, mimic what Mark Vadden was doing for so long. And he said it. He said it in an interview in 2014 where he said, "You don't build. You don't build during this time frame. Cash burn rates can go out of control. You sit on cash. You wait for the right time, and then you just keep doing what you're doing, and it'll all work out." So that's how I see it. But remember, I invest well beyond 2 to 3 years. I'm not a trader. I'm an investor. So I'm looking at something for 10 to 20. That's where I look at GameStop. So that's what I'm looking at right now.
See, that felt like a lot of gesturing towards the idea of like growth and responsible like use of capital, but like I'm still not hearing like a direct here's the plan. Like it felt like we're
Sure.
emulating these people who are successful, therefore we will be successful, but without specifics. And also I would argue like if we're comparing to like competing with Amazon with specific categories, something like Chewy wasn't profitable under Ryan Cohen, I don't think. Like it wasn't until later after it was already acquired and purchased and things were like integrated into like the supply chains of the already existing company that stuff started getting profitable. And even then I thought the margins were pretty thin.
So the building blocks are there. You can become profitable tomorrow. Like Hannah, I'm just telling you, in retail period, in business, you can be profitable tomorrow. Just cut everything you want, and I can show you a profit. That's not the way it's going to happen. Building the infrastructure and the culture takes time, more than 5 years, more than 7 years. So yes, Chewy is a brand name now, and it's a calling. Like people know what it is. You say Chewy, they go, okay, yeah, that's the pet product store.com. The same thing happens for GameStop. GameStop has this recognizable name. The brand is there, but the culture's not there for the employees themselves. The way they run their company, the way they step over, paper clips and staples to try to make this dollar for dollar. That's why he put out the letter and he said, hey guys, we're going to either need to really make a profit here, cut everything we can and do it right. But that's the structure. That's like the idea that moving forward, it's those incremental increases that'll show the profits. When people want a roadmap and a game plan, you don't tell that. The reason why you don't tell that is because I can't tell Amazon, hey, I struck gold, I struck oil, Web 3.0, this is how we're going to do it, e-commerce and discounts and however we're going to do it on that side. You don't tell anyone your game plan because then they're going to beat you. And somebody that's bigger than you, they're going to cripple you. That's how I see Amazon winning. But yeah, I would never give him the game plan. And that's why I'm happy he doesn't give out guidance. And I sit here and I tell you, I invest quote unquote blindly, as people are like try to stop me from doing it. And I'm just telling you guys, I see it bigger than that. I see the culture. You know, when they say no one's talking at GameStop, Ryan doesn't talk. You know who does talk? Larry Chang. Larry Chang talks more than any executive I've ever seen in my life, but he's doing it through educational tweets. So anyone who's a GameStop investor that's not following Larry Chang, they should. He's on the board of directors. He's also the chief investment officer for Evolution Capital. He's the individual that I would tell you that's giving out the game plan and the map for GameStop. If you read his tweets, they're phenomenal. So it taught me a lot in business.
Okay, so I think you and I have something in common, and that is that we can both talk. We could just both talk for a really long time. But I think the problem is when you actually break down what you just said, it was effectively, we need to cut and cut and cut. And then you talked about developing a company culture, but so far the recent thing Ryan Cohen has done is basically blame his employees and act like they're the problem, and then cut their benefits and hours. Like, is that what you consider developing a positive company culture where employees have good morale and want the company to succeed and do well outside of the practical, they just need a job?
So in the world of private equity, right? Just so, and I totally agree with what you're saying, to the point to shed light on it. You have to have a washout. You have to have this cleanse of the old guard. So to wipe out everything that they did or they were inflated, I've touched on this with so many different videos. You know, the percentage that they're paying principal, they're called principal financial, the individuals that were in charge of their benefits program and their 401ks, we don't know what the percentage was, but I can tell you that private equity on the backside is in charge of that fund. So he can renegotiate everything he has to do. He can clean it all out. But these are entry-level positions that we're up for on the chopping block. These are guys that we're going to hire straight out of high school or kids. These are not working-class adults at the executive level. This is not the corporate level employee. This is what they call an exempt employee, right? Or a non-exempt employees weren't affected. So, or the vice versa. I'm so sorry. Exempt employees were affected. So when you look at it, it's not just the overall culture of the business. It's just letting you know that the fundamental people that are coming in, hey, this is the new standard. This is where we're at. And yeah, I might be asking more of you for less, but that's in every form of business. Everyone's having to do more for less. This is not just sitting back and going, you know, we've always gotten a raise every year. Well, now it's incentivized as in case, you know, your share price is going to dictate what your bonus is because you're getting paid in RSUs. Therefore, you need to produce. Therefore, you need to cut those costs. Go ahead.
It stuck out to me, and there's a decent bit to go through there, but it stuck out to me that you were mentioning the lower level employees as if like, fuck them, who cares? Like, it felt a little bit like you were like, well, these are just people out of high school, or these are just low level, whatever. Like, people require benefits regardless of their age. Like, that's...
Oh, you're absolutely correct. But I'm telling you is this, if you're going to your employer and they tell you the first day in, here's what it is, be thankful for what you have at that point. If not, find a new employer.
Right,
you know,
and many have, which is why we've seen posts of people walking out of GameStops and being like, fuck this place, and we've seen on the employee subreddits, the employees have nothing but terrible things to say about this. They mock Ryan Cohen, rightfully so, I think, for his ridiculous condescending email about, all right, we need to tighten our belts. Like, is he the dad from Troll 2? What are we doing?
No. Well, let me ask you something, and I don't mean to get personal, but have you working a W-2 job, okay, which I currently do right now?
I know you do.
I'm just asking, how many of these individuals have gone through financial turmoil that needed a job? It's slim to none almost because it's generational. So the individuals like myself that look at kids and say, you're pissed off that they're not going to pay you X, Y, and Z, you're 25, go find a different job then. But I'm telling you right now,
maybe you should demand more from your employers. Have you considered that? You should ask more of them, and if they're not willing to do so, then yeah, that's the market. You leave if you can, but if you can't, then it's a hostage situation, basically, that you're condoning as a business practice.
It's not a hostage. That's ridiculous. Everyone gets paid a paycheck, right? So, like, the idea, and this is like we're going to not agree, because the idea that you should be able to walk in and demand things is crazy. You should be so thankful that you get a job.
That's the market. You're selling labor.
These are first world problems, not third world problems.
What the fuck
So
does
to
that
cut
mean
out-
regarding this? You know, people in the United States don't deserve to have health care and food on the table because
No,
they work for the
you
company
they
that
still have
you
healthcare.
like?
They still have healthcare. It's the level of healthcare, the level of benefits that you're asking for. Not every corporation can provide that. You trivialize it, but I'm telling you, I've lived
If
in
your
third world
business
countries.
model can't afford to take care of your employees, your business model sucks and you don't deserve to be a company.
That's not it. It's at what level do you get where you actually garner that pay and or that benefit? It's not for everyone. Not everyone's a Costco. Not everyone's an Apple. Not everyone's Google. So right
You can
now,
have
I'm
health care
telling
when
you,
you work for a fintech company. Welcome to America, where if you work for the right company, it's okay if you get cancer, but if you don't, you fucking die.
you work
are we
for a
doing?
retail entry level company. I mean, I don't know what you want.
I would
There's
like
so many
employees to be
companies-
treated fairly. Why is this not
Okay,
a problem
so-
other places in the world where it's not even like
It's
an
a problem
employer
everywhere.
thing?
Why is it that when private equity runs healthcare situation, any healthcare, I'm talking about old folks home, I don't care what it is, the mortality rate increases 10% because they cut out so many things. It's okay to cut out corners everywhere else in this world, but if GameStop cuts out one fraction of benefits to employees, it's up and all. They're terrible and they're poor business to work for. That's
They
ridiculous.
are. I also don't think it's.
No one would have a
I
job.
don't
There
like
would be no
private equity and
doctors.
healthcare in general. That's what I'm saying. Like this is part of a
There would
larger
be no
issue.
doctors. There would be no lawyers. There would be no nurses.
In
There would be no
countries where there's
pharmacists.
universal health care, there's no lawyers and doctors. In the United States, you
No,
have a
I'm
right to
talking
a
about
lawyer.
here.
We still have criminal lawyers. Other
Yeah, but we're
countries
talking
where
about
people
here in America, where they cut out all benefits for grocery store workers. They cut out all benefits for healthcare. They've been cutting benefits across the board. That's the first thing you cut out.
and that's a
When
problem.
you think about the market,
That's a
it
problem.
is a problem, but it's as in to say that it's GameStop is the problem. GameStop is the vulture here. That's
Is it
not
not
it.
part of it? If a bunch
What
of
did they
vultures
cut
are
out?
picking at a
Okay,
corpse,
Hannah,
are
what
they
did they
not
cut out?
all
I'll give you
partially
this.
responsible for the condition?
What did they cut out for the entry level employee?
I would imagine a decent amount of their healthcare benefits. They have less availability of doctors to go see and treatments. That's what happens when they cut your benefits. Is there's
Go
less
read it again, though.
options.
Go read it again. Go read it again. They didn't cut it out. They took
They
away
lowered the tier,
fractions
thus
of-
cutting out.
Go read it again. That's all I'm asking. Okay, because I'm telling you, there's still benefits there for the employees. The 401k portion, the match that they took away, that's financial. That's different. You're in a state right now for the employer itself of survival because private equities attacked them over the last 3 years.
No,
They were
okay,
extremely
but
profitable.
This comes
Go
down
ahead.
to the fact that you think it's like to be clear, is it just short sellers or are you big into the whole naked short sellers conspiracy?
I have nothing to do with that. I
Okay.
don't give a damn.
Okay. But you just said private
I-
equity's been attacking them. In that case, I kind of
Yeah.
assumed you meant short selling, right? So short selling?
Absolutely not. No. See,
So how
this
is
is why I
private
know
equity
you-
attacking them if not through short selling?
Okay.
Like, what do you mean? What's your
All right.
thesis here? I'll shut the fuck up.
Okay,
I know I'm
so-
interrupting.
I'm with you, Hannah. I just want you to. There's a different story here. I have a whole series called Connect the Dots. There's 49 parts. I'm working on part 50 right now. And it's about the dots that our private equity since the 1960s have been destroying America from within, i.e., planting executives on the board of directors for all companies. And I've shown the web and how they destroy them from within with just for fees, just for the 2 and 20. And if you don't know what 2 and 20 is, they get back 2% of the initial investment and 20% of all profits. But they do that based off of what? They're passing around these companies to each other. And I've explained it in detail. Connect the dots. That's why I was able to call Bed Bath & Beyond's bankruptcy in detail and how it was systematically getting torn apart and whom were the individuals that were doing it. And I've shown it. So when you look at GameStop and they don't have private equity in there, they pushed them out. They pushed out KKR. And when they did this, I said, oh, goodness. He went in there. He did the takeover himself. He put his own money up. Now they're attacking him on freight. They're attacking him on supply chain and every other aspect of the business. This is why GameStop's the juggernaut, because they all bet on it. They do a thing called jumping, and that's quote unquote jumping. It's been in a lawsuit for the Caesar's Palace coup. That's a book that you can read as well. But 9 private equity firms jumped in and tore that apart. They cut it up. They do vulture capitalism. But when you saw them jump on GameStop, everyone went and shorted the stock, yes. But they were jumping on it because they had the green light from KKR, from Apollo, from Ares, from Bain and Company. They're all out there. I've talked to Carlyle Group. So many private equity firms that destroy companies from within by putting their executives on the board of directors. They've been doing this since Drexel Burnham Lambert, the only hedge fund to ever get shut down by the government for doing this. And Mike Milken and the Milken Institute, I have connected dots. That's what I talk about. That's why when you look at it and you're naming a company and you want to attack them, you don't know who's on the other side of it. Private equity owns the 401k deal for GameStop that they just bought into when private equity took over there. They destroyed this company for the last 14 years. And now they're repairing themselves. AMC's been destroyed for 23 years. And that's because private equity bought them out in 2001. Adam Aaron worked for Apollo directly for the last 25 years. It's a private equity's wet dream. That's just what it is. And for the lack of a better term, I apologize. I don't want to offend anyone. But if you know my angle, it's private equity. It's how it's ruining America and all the companies within it. Carvana, Bed Bath & Beyond, Mullen Automotive, AMC, and of course GameStop. But GameStop's the only company that pushed them out right now that we're speaking. You want to talk about controls, you want to talk about how companies run, that's Target, that's Kohl's, and that's not GameStop. But they're run wrong. GameStop's not. They're doing it the right way.
Okay, so what I'm gathering from this is basically you're looking at situations of vulture capitalism where, like, companies will go in and do, like, leveraged buyouts or buyouts of things like Toys R Us, when that happened,
Yep.
go in, tear the thing apart, understand, basically sort of a managed decline is what you're trying to describe, is a managed
Yeah, on
decline where they
purpose.
can then part it out for profit, is what you're describing.
It's been noted that they do it on purpose. They make bad decisions on purpose. Like they over leverage themselves or they do share buybacks, like when they don't have the cash to do it. They'll even sell their assets and lease them back with the leasing company, be private equity. And they always get the direction from some type of leverage buyout firm. It would be like Macellum, Ancor, and Legion and Partners. 3 hedge funds go in and they jump on one company.
Okay.
And they did that with Bed Bath & Beyond. They do that with Kohl's right now. They've done it plenty of times. Some people fight them, some don't.
But currently, as you've stated, and this is, I understand you're saying that now they're clear and they're going to build themselves. You're saying that because they're clear of private equity interest, you believe that they are now a successful company. I think the problem here is that you assume that if you are, let's say, an entity that wants to ingratiate yourself into a business, into a managed decline where you can then part it out and make money, it wouldn't make sense to do that to a company that's doing really, really well. What you would do is go, what businesses are already in decline that we can then take control of and make money off of? You don't manufacture, the entire decline, you manage it. You manage the decline, you don't manufacture it, and that's the difference. GameStop's price didn't go down and wasn't failing just because of private equity interest. It's because it's a bad business model.
Not at all. The balance sheet doesn't support what you're saying.
When's the last profitable year they've had? I think it was 7 years ago was the last profitable whole year.
It could have been 2018. I'm not familiar right now while I'm sitting here in front of you. 2016, 2018.
7 to 8 years
somewhere in there.
ago. Better, almost a decade, we're talking, since they have made a profit.
Yep. And we're on the right side of
That's a solid
history
business
on that.
model. That is a solid business model, 8 years without a profit.
Yeah, you have to know what happened. They actually they destroyed the company from within, and by doing so, they lowered the market price, the market cap all the way down, and burned off all of their goodwill on their assets. Therefore, they took an impairment charge, a loss of over $1 billion, and that hits the actual balance sheet. So it makes it look like they're not making money, but in reality, they still are making money. That's why they were able to pay out a dividend. And you say, why the hell would they pay out a dividend? They have no cash and they just lost $1 billion because they wanted to deplete all the coffers. That's the complete opposite of what they're doing right now. But when people learn how GameStop's operating with zero goodwill and still have $1.2 billion worth of equity with only a $30 million cash burn for the year, annual cash burn, you're looking at around 10 years, 30 years worth of business just based off the current cash rate. So there's no way anyone that tells you they're going bankrupt or the business model doesn't work doesn't understand the industry. You
literally just said they're burning cash. They're burning cash, and they
$30
have
million, Anna.
Okay,
$30
but
million.
why are you assuming that
They
that is
built $6
static and
billion.
that the losses aren't going to increase over time? You're acting as though there's nowhere to go but up. Meanwhile,
There
the
is nowhere
market
to
of
go but
video
up.
games is going away from physical, which we've talked about.
Okay. Well, you can stop that narrative for a second. Let's just talk about this for what we're talking about today, not where they will be. I'm talking about today. They are profitable today. They showed a $2 million loss for the quarter, but they had marketable securities purchased $50 million and inventory increase of almost $90 million. You're talking about $130 million they didn't have to spend, and they did it anyway. They're hiding their profits. I've been saying this for 2 years. They're profitable today. You guys just all looking
Having
at the wrong.
expenditures isn't hiding profits. Using
What
money
expenditure?
now to potentially make money later is a cost of doing business. That doesn't inherently mean they're going to make a profit on those investments later.
I'm making the bet that they're going to be profitable over the next 10 years, and you're making the bet saying no. Is that correct?
Profitable year over year? Like, can you give me an exact?
Absolutely.
Let's be more specific.
Trailing 12. Trailing 12. Right now, trailing 12. They're going to be positive.
I don't even think that's unreasonable. So no, I wouldn't make that bet. They might be
Okay, so
profitable,
if you're saying
but I
that's
don't
not
think it justifies
that's
the price
reasonable.
that they're at, and I don't think that means that the business is going to be existent
So,
necessarily.
so
in
what
10
do you
years.
think? I mean, what do you think retail trades at? I'm just curious because you seem somewhat intelligent about the trading and what it's actually worth. I'm saying GameStop's trailing 12 is positive in a retail sector that's in a decline for everyone, not just GameStop.
Yeah,
And
that's
then
bad
when
for
you
GameStop too, though. Like that, there's still
no, I'm with
retail.
you.
Just because they're in a
But their
sinking
share,
boat with other people doesn't mean they're not in the boat.
sure, but their shareholder equity is in the positive $1.2 billion
Okay, what are they going to do with it?
versus. Oh, watch this. They don't have to do anything. You're saying value. You said you don't think that the stock price equates value. And if we go with the current stock price right now, they're trading at around 26% equity per share. There's not a single company in retail, not a single one, and I've checked them all, that trades at a better book value than GameStop with zero goodwill. They're not propped up on assets. They're propped up on what they're actually worth. So
They're not
how
what they're
the
actually
hell-
worth, though. They're propped up on like people who are really, really interested in them for meme stock reasons. And I know you hate that word. I know you hate that word when
They do,
applied to
because
GME. I get
they're a
it.
blue chip company. They're a blue chip company.
They're a blue chip company. Can you
Absolutely.
justify that statement and don't go on like a
They were in
5-minute
the
diatribe? Give me a
Huh.
sound bite. Justify that statement in a way that isn't a buzzword.
Yeah, they were in the S&P 500 before. They're going right,
Were,
and they will be again.
were, past tense.
Yeah. Private equity pushed them out. I mean, I could say it 3 times like you, but that's not going to put any more emphasis on it. I'm letting you know that value, dollar for dollar, it's the best buy you can do right now.
Okay,
Better
again,
than
that's
Google, better than Apple,
you're
better than
just you're
Costco.
just vibing. You're not saying statements other than just
I
like
just said it.
buzzwords. This is
They're
amazing.
profitable. The trailing 12 is profitable. There's one thing that's going to happen right now, and you're going to find that out in the next, I don't know, 120 hours. Second, they are a profitable company, period. So where do you find value in the next anything? And we haven't even talked about player. You know, I stay out of it. I don't even go in. I don't even go into the idea of the things they are doing, but to know that they have so many things. I call it the hidden figures. If you haven't seen that video, it's called Hidden Figures. They have so many things hidden within their actual 10K and 10Q. They're profitable by about, I'd say, $300 million a year. I'm ballparking a number, and that's an easy number. So after 5 years, put them another 1.5 billion in the bank. What exactly do you think they don't have? Like they're that.
I
And then
don't
when that
think
business model,
they have a business
see
model
it.
that's going to be profitable long term at the footprint they are at. Even if they are, again, maybe they'll shamble along, maybe they'll shift a bit. But right now, if GameStop
You
as it
said their
currently exists,
demise is coming. No, you didn't say they're gonna shift and they're gonna be okay. No, you said they're done. I've seen every video you put out.
I think that they'll probably go away. They have a lot of cash to burn, but unless they do anything, if they stay in the state they are in right now, yeah, I would think in 10 years they'll be out of business or so
10
small
years.
and regional that no one even knows they exist, except for people who
Okay.
have them in their town.
Well, guess what? We have plenty of time to watch it play out. I really appreciate you, young lady. I will say this respectfully, Hannah. I've heard your every point you've ever made. I went and told myself, and I had to counter it in my own sense because I watch your videos offline. I don't watch them like when they're live and stuff.
Yeah.
And I say, okay, she's wrong there. She's wrong there. I understand why she thinks that way. She's wrong. She's wrong. There's stuff that you don't know yet, like the private equity angle.
No,
and how
I
that's
understand the concept of that. Like, I used to work
I know
at
you know the
Toys R Us
concept.
in, like, college. I worked in Toys R Us for a little bit when that was all happening. I know about it. I just think that you're fundamentally assuming that only one thing can be the cause of an issue. And GameStop can be a victim of a general economic culture of that sort of vulture behavior, and also be a bad business that doesn't have a future because of shifting landscapes in retail and gaming. Like, I gotta ask, what game do you play? Like, this is not, I'm not
good.
trying, this is
Don't-
not a
don't
gotcha. I
poke
really
it.
don't know. Do
Don't
you
poke
play
it.
video games?
More than a little. I'm one of the
Awesome.
top
Great.
players in the world at TFT. I own what 3 PlayStation 4s, a PS5. Been gaming my whole life.
Rad.
I'm an avid WoW player. I do RPGs. I've played everything in the world.
Oh,
So
good.
I love video games. I love GameStop.
Me
That's
too.
just it.
We both like games and we hate PP. So we have more in common
Oh.
than we do differences.
The word hate is strong. Okay, I don't necessarily hate someone. I dislike the fact that they went after my family, my kids, and all that nonsense. I really
Yeah,
don't
I get
care. I don't elaborate on that. I want to talk fundamentals. One last part to
Sure.
you, just in passing. Um, when we are correct, the guys who actually believe in GameStop, because we know what gaming is, and we know it's this compound growth. The average e-commerce shopper shops more and more each year. It's layered growth. They don't go away. You're going to find out this snowball that's been rolling downhill is bigger than you could ever imagine. I'm telling you, they're hiding the profits. People just don't understand it until they see it. And then the
Again-
people who watch the channel, watch the balance sheet, they see it.
That's
Again,
not hiding. Saying that
100
they could theoretically have fewer expenditures and be profitable is a known
no.
thing.
I'm telling you, $100 million swings every quarter for the next 4 equates to $500 million of profit, and it's been happening. They did I believe it was $115 million, $113 million swing last quarter. This one's going to be $100 million. The next one's going to be $100 million. The next one's going to be $100 million.
Why are you
And I'm
assuming
gonna-
that it's increasing? Like, why are you assuming that it is a steady growth rate of like 100 million per quarter? Like, you're saying things that sound nice. I'm sure if you're
No, I
invested
studied
in the
the balance
stock, but
sheet.
you've not
I
justified a
study
single
the
one of them.
balance sheet. I study margins. I annualize.
Balance sheet,
Yeah.
buzzword.
Yeah.
Like you can't
Not
just say
buzzword.
it. You gotta
It's math.
explain
It's
what's
correct
in the
every
balance
language.
sheet that you're saying
And
is
you
doing
could
this.
be an alien and you'll still know the math, and it's absolutely correct.
What's the
To
math?
have the margins of, did you see the profit margin last year? It was 21% gross
Oh wow,
profit
that's
margin.
impressive that
So-
they still didn't make a profit all that year. Then
No, the gross profit. This is not net. Gross was 21%.
Net's
The
what
lowest-
matters. Net's
No, it's the low. But my point is, it's the lowest it's ever been in the history of their company. They just went up to 27% the last 2 quarters. They're going to be up at 27, 29%. You annualize on an inflationary number. The supply chain issues, everything they had going against them in 2022, the SG&A that was just blown out of the roof, were
Okay.
all just hidden expenses.
What about
It's
the
all
problem of
gone.
their most historically profitable sector, used gaming, continuing to shrink as digital markets continue to grow?
That's the margin of profit. It's not the actual.
Historically, in their
largest
most
metric.
profitable years, that was the sector that made them the most money.
The sector that makes them the most money is accessories right now. Accessories
Right
and
now,
hardware.
when they are not profitable year over year. Previously, in
They
the
are.
past, when they were profitable,
hell?
the thing that made them money and made their business
Can we
model
not just have
successful
this
was games.
conversation?
I know. I
ma'am,
feel like I'm taking crazy pills.
they are profitable right now.
Not
That's why I just
on
laughed about
paper.
it.
They're really not.
$2 million,
Not year over
right?
year.
They missed it by 2 million last quarter.
Oh boy, they only were down $2 million. Correct.
They do
Last
6
quarter. How about the
billion.
whole year? This is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Anyone can point at
Trailing
quarters and go,
12.
look at, we made a
I'll
profit
be
that
here.
quarter.
Hey, you want to meet up next week? I'll be here. Trailing 12. They're going to be positive.
Of course.
So your whole narrative is out the door.
Especially this quarter with Ryan Cohen, and I talked about this. Ryan Cohen's the CEO, and he is going to pull out all the stops and make sure that this report
It was already going to happen.
shows he cut where he's cutting,
It
where
was already going to happen. This is why I know you don't watch the show every day, but that's okay. They were already profitable last quarter.
yes,
We already knew that.
But they
Quarter
haven't
one,
year over
they were already
year.
profitable. Did you know that when they showed a $51 million or $48 million loss, no, $51 million loss, quarter one, the $51 million is actually hidden on the SG&A as an expense towards the commitments that they already had from the previous 2 years. They're paying off things even now. This is why the SEC filed a letter to them and they asked them to be more direct on this one, on quarter 3 SG&A byline. They actually have to tell you what makes up it because they're not telling anybody. I'm telling you what they're hiding. And the letter's there, and I already talked about it, and I touched on that. They're literally hiding their expenses because they have been paying things off that they're getting ahead of it. They're so far ahead.
Didn't you
you're gonna
say they
be
already have
pleasantly
no
surprised.
debt? What are they paying off? They had no debt.
Okay, there's a difference between no debt. There's corporate debt and operational debt.
Okay.
So if you don't know the two, no,
no,
don't
I
do
understand
that,
what you're
because
saying.
you know.
Like I understand what you're
There's
saying.
long-term liabilities and short-term liabilities, and there are no long-term liabilities for them per se. They are running a great business, and I'm not gonna let people just shit on them for it. I'm telling you, they're
I'm
doing
not
great.
shitting on
I
anyone. I just don't think that the
no,
the
Hannah,
value is
you
currently
can have your
justified,
opinion.
and it's clearly
You can
still
well,
on the
that's
momentum of 2021.
I mean, what is this justified? Wedbush put them at $6 when they're at $4 cash. You can't buy this company for $2. You can't buy it for $2. That means it's only worth 600 million. They sell 6 billion in sales. There's just
Again,
the math
revenue
doesn't
versus
add up
profit.
in your way.
PP does this shit too. Yes, you can have high. If you get your company big enough, you can have really high
Sure.
revenues and still not make a profit. I can have high revenue selling $1 for 50 cents if I
Okay,
really want. It's just
I'll do
not
it to you a different way.
reasonable.
I'll do it to a different way so that you'll understand it this way. The current ratio assets to liabilities. I have no notes in front of me, Hannah. I'm just talking to you.
I'm
The
very
current
impressed.
ratio is 2.2, 2.18, whatever it may be. They're over 2x on assets to liabilities. This is the perfectly run company that no one wants to talk about. Everyone wants to look at top line, bottom line nonsense. Listen, they're running
All these
the
people
best
want to
possible.
look at the profits of the company. What's their
Go ahead, they have
KD
'em.
ratio? That's what I want to know.
just-
I will
You
invest
just
in a
don't have
company
them
with
yet.
a good kill-death ratio.
I know you do. I know you do. But chances are you're a camper. You're in a corner and you're waiting for the game to end. I got it. Thank you so much for
Yeah.
everything, Hannah. I really appreciate the time and the respect between each other. I don't mind going heads up. Appreciate you. I'll let everyone know that this clip's out there. I might clip it later. I got to get to work. I got to do my
Alright.
thing. But thank you so much. Hey, keep doubting GameStop. It keeps me going, and I'll wake up tomorrow.
See you later. Have a
Thank
good
you,
one.
ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
That was fun. Holy shit. That was great. That was good. Let me switch back to the other thing. Sorry, I know there was a bunch of like bits messages and stuff, but I didn't want to break the flow, and I thought it would be rude to pause while we were trying to have it. Yeah, okay. So here's the thing, about that. Like I said, Morance is being polite to me, he's being kind, and I respect that. He seems like a nice guy. Nothing against the guy personally. Right. I do think he's wrong, though, just as he thinks I'm wrong. Although, the difference is I'm actually right. Alright. Playful arrogance. Seriously, though, I feel like that was a lot of, like I said, buzzwords and narrative. He was painting a narrative. This company's great. We're gonna do this. We're gonna do that. But the specifics weren't specific. It was just general gesturing towards better times for the company. It was vibes. And I know he doesn't want that to be the case, but he'll just be like, but the balance sheet. Okay. What on the balance sheet? You can't just gesture in the direction of the balance sheet and act as though that in and of itself is evidence. Even if he's right in that case, which in fairness he could be. I don't know what he's referencing. But you can't just gesture in the direction of evidence and then be like, it's in there somewhere. Actually cite what you're trying to say. And also, I just don't understand what he even thinks the company's value is. The company that was only ever successful in selling used games isn't going to be selling used games in the future as their primary source of income. Hey, good luck. Does Polte sound like Darth Dawkins? I don't know who Darth Dawkins is. Thanks, Spokane Dog. Alright, let's see what I missed in the chat, and we'll move on to PP show stuff. Even if anyone's like from the Morance fan stuff, you can stick around for us making fun of PP and talking about that. You don't like him, so that's fun. Alright, let's see what it Avant Gardner says, dude, if you can't pay your employees, you don't get employees. Agreed. Very weird. I found that interesting how he was so like, well, it is the way it is. They're just low-level employees. It's what you gotta do. But at the same time, he's trying to talk about private equity fucking over working-class people. Meanwhile, that's literally what he's describing as a positive move for GameStop. You can't have it both ways. You can't. Avant Gardner says, does this dude own a business? I hope not. Also missed old bits. Sorry about that, Avant Gardner. Oh, the Wu-Tang ones? No, I got those. Tiradona says, again, the root of the problem is capitalism. Avant Gardner, nope, read that. Cassifel says, could you ask him why he thinks a higher level employee deserves more benefits despite not spending as much time working at the company at the entry level grunt? Like, how can the mass amount of people supporting the company through working there not deserve the same care as people who only delegate work? Because they're dirty, lowly employees. And I know that Morance isn't consciously saying that. That's not something he would say. I'm not putting words in his mouth. That is the unintended implication, though, unfortunately. I think it's something that he's picked up through our pretty fucked up culture that he doesn't understand he's doing. All right, we're caught up. Oh, there were some tips too. Bump says that was an interesting call. Thank you, Hannah. Thank you. And that's it. We're caught up. Awesome. Time for peeps. I need to do more interviews. Those are fun.
Tonight, whenever Travis will be joining the show, there should be something really fucking interesting to share with everybody tonight. He did go back and look at some other companies where this same thing was applied, and turns out that it's pretty fucking bullish, man. So right on. All right, cool.
Web3's dead. So anyone trying to justify it like he brought up player, yes, that's not happening. Not going to be profitable for them. Sorry, I didn't say that directly. I immediately laugh at the concept that player or Web3 is going to do anything for GameStop. Because gamers hate NFT and gamers hate Web3 shit. Not happening.
Cool. So let's jump into the show tonight, man. Let's not waste any more time.
Amber Pretzel says, just gotta say for Morance that thanks for coming in and being respectful. Might not agree with everything, but you were a good sport with the interview. I agree. And I would talk with Morance again. If anything, I got a little spicy, which is unfortunate, but I can't help myself sometimes, but I'll try.
Let's get into the legality and we'll jump straight into it, man. So keep in mind, man,
No, they're still talking about primarily Bed Bath.
Not a financial expert, nor am I a financial advisor. So please seek the avenues to do so, man. You're not going to find it here. A lot of this is opinion. A lot of this is speculation. And a whole bunch of it, man, is entertainment. All right. We like getting together. We like talking about the stock. And that's really all there is to it, man. It's no different than getting drunk in a goddamn bar, talking up someone's ear about something you love. That's typically what we do here at the PP Show, man. So if you love that, make some friends in the chat, man. We got some great fucking people a part of our community. So right on. It's great to see you guys. Keep in mind, any guests who come on the show, man, nobody here is a professional. So if you hear any opinions, you hear any TA, you hear any speculation, things like that, keep in mind, man, nobody here is a professional. We just like getting together and we like talking about the stock. Right on. We had Majin with the gifted PP membership at the beginning of the show. Appreciate the love, Majin. We also had Johnny Jake saying Schizo runs the world, I believe. Right on, Johnny. Mo Money with the 2 bidet homies unite.
I feel bad now. Now I gotta talk to this person in chat. Okay, oh boy. I understand the entire argument with the NFT thing, and you're saying that, oh, it creates true digital ownership of a true digital item. I understand what you're trying to say. You're trying to say, oh, imagine, I've heard all the arguments. Imagine if in World of Warcraft you could own a sword, and you really owned that sword via NFT on the blockchain. Yes, that is literally what I am talking about. I am literally talking about that thing, and I am saying, gamers... Sorry, someone's honking a horn or something outside. Gamers don't like that. Gamers hate that by and large. So. Jesus, sounds like an ambulance or something.
Wash that.
I gotta go check something real quick. I gotta make sure something's not going on outside. Be right back. We're good. Just seemed like emergency vehicles all going by at once. Nothing.
That rich future butthole. All right, right on. We're not going to stop till there's a bidet in every home in America.
They hate stupid NFTs of monkeys. They do not hate in-game skins. No, in-game skins are already a thing that exists without NFTs. NFTs are a completely unnecessary thing you're trying to staple to the side of this idea because you need to in order to make your idea work.
More money with the two. Yo, Bill Pulte should have a bidet option for home. All right, let's see if we can get Pulte on that. Right on. I'll run the bidet division. How does that sound? Mike Hands with the Peepee note. Hey, Peepee, could I show the new books on stream? I've been waiting.
Yes, but they're owned by the game developer and not the designers. They would be in this case too. Like, in no version of this are you going to be the owner of the item in reality, because that ownership is always predicate upon a server-side thing that says, yep, I can authenticate that, and that means you have this thing. The person who has the other end of the server that's actually going to check for the token, the company that's actually running the servers for the game, can just change their coding and say, nah, we don't accept that NFT anymore. Fuck you. Not really ownership, is it? It's a key. And if you change a lock, it doesn't matter if you own the key.
To open them up. Yes, absolutely. We'd love to get through them tonight. I did try to tweet out Ryan Cullen, man, to find out where the fuck my goddamn teddy books are, man. All right. We need those because the DD is in there, fellas. All right. Trust me, I know how crazy it probably sounds.
The servers will be decentralized. We solved it. No, what? Then no one will just design a game on the blockchain. You're acting as though people will be forced at gunpoint. You will make a blockchain game with distributed server networks that are currently impossible to run based on how inefficient the blockchain is. Ah. That's not how it works. No company's gonna do that. It'll be better. That's your argument? The sentence, 4 words, it will be better?
But there's a lot of good DD inside of those fucking
immutable. You're saying words. You're saying buzzwords. Buzzwords do not constitute an argument. Arguments are usually comprised of many words and sentences that mean things both to the sender and the receiver. Single words are rarely arguments. If you're just trying to be snarky, that's fine. I get it. But if you're actually trying to make a good faith argument, more words would help. Thank you.
Children's books. So right on. It's great to see you guys all tonight. Mike Hands, we'd love to have you on. Feel free to utilize the link and come on the show. I'll provide one right now, and we can get through it later in the show. All right, fellas, let's not waste any more time. Chat, please give a warm welcome to Michael.
I'm not allowed to make it a combined chat. Twitch doesn't allow it. Like, I would. It's actually easier to do a combined chat than it is to not. But literally, Twitch is allowing dual streaming, but the only chat you're supposed to have on screen is Twitch. Very weird on their part. I hope they change that, but whatever. Oh, sorry, I gotta fix the chat box, though, because I did turn it off because it was not working when Morance was on. Yes, that'll do it. Oh, that's the wrong one. Not that one, the other one. Twitch chat, please. Where did my Twitch chat go? Oh, there it is. Why can't I see it? Hold on, I'm looking. Oh, I put it over here. That's why. Jimmy Tea Time, thanks for 3 months with Prime, says I'm so confused on the chat on both platforms. Too high in the order. That'll do. Pig. Chat's a pig. Jimmy, thanks again, because my brain made me read it immediately. Dr. Campbell says the ultimate counterpoint. No, you're wrong.
Michael, how
Alamo says buzzwords is a Democrat trait. If anyone needs like some user flair for a subreddit or something, that's a good one. Buzzwords is a Democrat trait. R.
the fuck you doing tonight, man?
Doing amazing.
Sorry, I had to hold in a lot of snark during this stream so far, and now it's poking out. It's poking out. I'm getting bristly.
Amazing. Just watching it all unfold.
Right on, right on. Yeah, it's definitely been interesting, man. You know, in terms of
You say Web3 is dead, yet IMX is partnering with massive studios. Yeah, Ubisoft has continually tried the NFT thing, and every time they do, people get mad at them. They're also the people who recently put a literal ad in the middle of a video game where it just stops the gameplay and plays an ad. Is that the company that you're saying is promoting positive user experiences for gamers?
you know, a lot. Yeah, I know we were covering a lot of GameStop last night just because it was ripping. Looks like it's holding at $16. We got some dockets also to sift through. Travis has some extremely bullish stuff to share tonight as well.
That's a minor phone. No, I checked its ID. We're good.
So it's looking good, man. I gotta say, even IEP, man. At least it's not red. So right on.
I think it's about ready to blow. I
Yeah.
did jump in and mess around with some options, and you know, it was a journey with this like
Michael,
amount
are
of
you
money
there?
I was like messing with. I
Oh
turned to
shit, you straight, yeah, you straight froze.
Oh, I was gonna say I had a bad week last week with options because I didn't know the shortened time period for Friday. Well, I didn't think it was as short as it was,
Right.
but I went from $100 to $800 since Friday, so that was cool.
Nice.
Right on, right on.
Good for
Yeah,
Mike.
cool. Glad to hear it. Yeah, I had some options in GameStop. Woke up this morning, they were worth $150, man. So right on per contract. They had fallen by quite a bit too. So fuck yeah, dude. Right on. Right on. All right, excellent. So let's get into the show tonight. We also have Mike Hands backstage. Mike Hands, we'll bring you on in just a moment or in a little bit. Just sit tight backstage there. I'd love to take a look at some of those Teddy books tonight as well. So right on. Someone says PP level up. All right, you need a PP level up. We'll
I
get.
moved on to PP because he's funny, and we spent half the stream talking about GME, and the title of the stream was about PP. Why you gotta make this a weird thing?
Get you one right now.
I was trying to find. I'm material reality prevented me from doing something very mean. I swear, when Morance was talking for a little bit, I was looking for the tinfoil hat to put on, and luckily I couldn't find it. That would have been very rude. Quick pour over the children's book for their prophecies. Have we checked the clocks? Have we had another theory about the clocks?
All right, right on. Fuck, I missed that button, man. Miss using it. All right, so we do have Spidey backstage. I do want to bring in Spidey for a little bit. He usually does have some pretty good stuff to contribute to the show. So why don't we go ahead and bring in Spidey? Let's see what's going on with Spidey. Ryan says, "Stop fucking around with options. You are giving the enemy ammunition." I mean, yeah, you're right. You know, at the end of the day, buying stock, you know, is the better route. But you know, options can be used to
PP, I thought you weren't telling anyone what to do with their money.
increase your capital.
Kind of sounded like you just said something was a better option. That feels like a definitive financial advice statement.
You know, so not saying go
I mean, like,
all you know, always options, but David Simpson was all options. You know, like for the most part.
Like the vast
it
majority of
did
my
that.
money is shares,
Right.
but that extra little percent that's like just to try to, you know, build, you know,
Yeah. Because, like, I mean, yeah, someone said in all caps, do whatever the fuck you want. Yeah, and you should. But, I like to utilize options to increase capital, and and then I buy more shares. So right on. All right, let's go ahead and bring in Spidey into the show, man. So chat, please give a warm welcome to Spidey.
Views over truth, similar to, I assume you're gesturing in the direction of someone like Dan Olson. I find it interesting that your views are truth and my views are views. Do you ever introspect about that and think that maybe you're a little too centered in your own life and don't have a perspective to kind of self-assess and see what stuff is your opinion and what stuff is fact? And even what it means to know a fact. Because it kind of feels like you're already stuck in a position where you're like, your position is different than mine, and that's a position. But the things I believe are facts. Sus.
All right, what's
Oglakug with, I think that's Czechoslovakian, $20, says, we must consult the sacred text.
going on? Spidey, how you doing tonight?
Hey, what's up, PP? Michael, what's going on,
Hey.
guys? How you doing?
Good, man. Just hanging out. Just started the show and saw you join backstage there. Usually when you join this early, you usually have some.
Ooh, that happened quick. Morance did the homework for you and you won't even view it but yell buzzwords. This is actually an interesting phenomenon. This is something that one of the Morance fans said in the YouTube chat. Said, Morance did the homework for you and you won't even view it but yell buzzwords. LOL. This is a direct result of a phenomenon that you see within these conspiratorial communities. They will see something that you say about them, and then they will go, I need to defend against that, so let's accuse you of it. Projection. Oh, you say I'm using buzzwords? You're using buzzwords! The same thing how they redefined the word shill. Like, shill means, basically, someone who lies to try and get you to buy something, someone who secretly works with interest to get you to buy something, so they will make money because they want you to buy into something, but instead they've defined shill as someone who disagrees with their opinion because everyone was calling them shills for shilling GameStop. So they have to sort of preemptively defend against criticism by using those criticisms against their perceived enemies, or those who criticize them.
Good stuff to cover, man. So what's on your mind tonight, Spidey?
Oh man, have I got some good stuff to cover tonight. Before I do get started, I do want to just make a shout out to Bruno Maybach and CN and Jake as well. So Bruno, CN, and I, and if I would be able to share my screen, that would be great as well.
Sure. Yeah, of course.
All right, perfect.
Just let me know when you're ready.
Moran said he had a 49-part series. That was actually the part where I was going to put on a tinfoil hat because it reminded me of Mark Sargent. If you're not familiar with Mark Sargent, Mark Sargent, Flat Earth News. So if you're not a normal viewer and you just know me as someone who was just talking to Morance and you know Morance, you might not know my primary concern, my thesis statement, so to speak, for what this show isn't about meme stocks, and I don't mean this episode. This episode's meme stocks. I mean my show overall. Hannah Reloaded, you know. It's, conspiracy theories and those who believe in them. Sort of the psychology and sociology of conspiracy theories and conspiratorial thinking. Things that fall under the category of, like, the cultic milieu. Google it. So I regularly cover things like flat earthers, you know?
This is your brain.
Mark Sargent, incredibly famous flat earther, got famous and became like the #1 flat earther, specifically due to his series, Flat Earth Clues, which 8 years ago started with part 1, part 2, part 3, part 4, and the most recent episode, trying to figure out how many episodes. Did he have a whole playlist of them? That'd be nice. 24 reminded me a little bit of that, and these are about 2 hours a piece, so do some math. Actually, I'm sorry, the last ones are only 2 hours. The other ones are closer between 10 and 20 minutes. Reminded me a little bit of that. I get it. I'm not trying to undercut anything Morance said in those videos because I haven't seen them, so I can't speak directly to it. But when he said that and the things he's saying, he sounds like Mark Sargent. He sounds like the kind of person who is doing a lot of quote-unquote research in order to prove a thing he already believes.
We'll show it. Someone said Pulte tweet. What do you say? Pulte tweet. He said December 14th, secret location, Pulte PP plus PP show. right on. Is that
Again, go over financials and prove him wrong. It's really that simple. See what he quotes and see if he is wrong. If he is, show how he is wrong. It's really that simple. Prove what is wrong. He didn't make a specific claim, and even if he did, the onus would not be on me to disprove his statement. He didn't prove it, but he didn't even really make a statement. He was just like, things are going well. The financials, what about them? And then we specifically got into the profit and the loss. Him saying that they're hiding profit. No, they're not. They're just using potential profit on expenditures. That's not hiding it, and that's not hiding a profit. That's spending money.
what it says? Fuck yeah, dude. Let's go ahead and pull this up on Spidey's end here. All right. Let's hear it, Spidey.
All right. So I got
oh, fuck. Is that discussion I had with Morance going to end up on Meltdown?
somewhat of a presentation here, just a couple of slides. PP, if you wanted to do me a favor. So let me just start by prefacing that this is in regards to the Philo. And something that I overlooked, and again, credit to CN and Bruno when we were having a conversation the other day as we were looking through and kind of talking about the Philo and some of the different things. So, PP, if you want to read the first highlighted and just let me know.
What expenditures? The specific ones that Morance mentioned where he said they were hiding profit, where he said they were making payments on, sorry, I forget what the specific was, the short-term business expense, like things that they were owed or that they owed people.
Nice.
Yeah.
Basically, it was an expense he was talking about.
Is there a way that you can zoom in for me?
Yeah, give me 2 seconds.
Why do I keep saying expenditures? Because it's a thing in business that we're talking about? Because you spend money on things in business? Like, I don't even understand what the fuck you mean? Like, do you need the definition of the word expenditures?
Seconds.
Or like what?
Someone said there's 3 airplanes in that post. All right, we'll take a look at it after Spidey.
Oops. Oh shit.
Onario said with the 2, he says, did OK Bet say he would be on tonight court case? Did he? We'd love to have OK Bet here. Let me know. I didn't know if he was. Someone said OK Wet.
If that's visible.
It's still a little tiny. Is that as close as we can get it? I can work with that.
In Twitch chat, Zolit Lionheart says the buzzword use of the financial sheets is what he provided. No information about it and continued using it without providing the information besides. That's an interesting thing, is people who listen to Morance trust him. A lot of the things that we do in relation to each other and how we understand things, we don't directly observe everything. Not most things. We trust other people. And unfortunately, if you put trust in people who are incorrect or make bad decisions, in this case, I think Morance's entire view on GameStop is incorrect. I don't think he's necessarily intentionally being dishonest, though I don't know. But he's certainly viewing it from a certain perspective. So if you're a person who puts your faith in Morance, or puts your trust in him, I should say, it's misplaced. And it's going to lead you down bad paths. Again, I don't think he's necessarily lying. Again, could be wrong, though. I just think he's wrong, and because you trust him, you assume that when he says balance sheets, there is a specific tangible thing he is talking about that directly says that you guys are going to make a ton of money. But that's not true? I know, that sucks. That sucks. And that's not a helpful argument at all, because you're just going to go, what are you talking about? I watch Morance all the time. You don't know what you're talking about, Hannah. I don't know. I need to find out more effective ways of discussing things with people when they have an indirect or direct mistrust of you. Gotta figure this out. Gotta be Internet Jane Goodall.
I can do it. All right. It
All
says
right,
on August 31st.
You do your own research? Flat Earthers and QAnoners that I watch say the same thing.
2022, Bed Bath & Beyond Inc., the company, established an at-the-market equity
But they're
distribution.
profitable, so obviously the expenditures aren't hurting the bottom line. I will repeat, no, they are not profitable and have not been for 7 years. If this year they do for the first time have a year-over-year profit, excellent. It would be the first time in 7 years.
Program by
Kids play NFT games. Which ones? Name an NFT game that a kid plays. Name one. Name two. Name three. Name 3 NFT games that, quote, kids play. I'm sorry. I know for Twitch chat I'm basically just arguing with someone in YouTube chat, but holy shit. I tried.
entering into an open market sale agreement with Jeffries LLC,
Go for it, Demibird. That's fine.
acting as sales agent for the company, pursuant to which the company may issue and sell from time to time shares of its common stock par value 0.01 per share common stock in any method permitted by law deemed to be an at-the-market.
Can you pull out your unprofitable chart for me? Are you invested in a company and you don't know that they haven't made a profit for the last 7 years? Like year over year? You genuinely don't know that? You need me to pull that up? Because that is horrifying that you don't know that the company has not been profitable in like 7 years. That's scary that you don't know that. Holy fucking shit. Oh my god. What was the ones that were mentioned? Alluvium, Wagme, and Kiraverse. Out of those, the only one I recognize is Kiraverse. And Kiraverse is a shitty ripoff of Fortnite that is not popular. So no, you named NFT games that NFT bros play. Not really kids. That's an attempt, though. You did name 3 NFT games. They just weren't popular ones, because there is no such thing as a popular NFT game.
Offering as defined.
It's in beta! Wow, that's a really convenient narrative. It'll forever be in beta. That way it can never fail.
In
Axie Infinity's already fucking crashed and burned because the entire thing was effectively a scheme. Not intentionally necessarily, but it turned into a greater fool scheme. The entire Axie economy collapsed because people weren't playing the game to play the game. No one actually wanted to come in and buy smooth love potions to play a fun game. They did it to try and extract value out of the system before it all collapsed.
Rule 415A4 under the Securities Act of 1933. As amended, the Act, the shares will be sold pursuant to the company's prospectus supplement dated August 31st, 2022, which was filed with the Securities and Exchange Commission on...
Is Kira the one... Let's see. Kira the one that used the Unreal Example Project. All right, we're barely paying attention to the PP show anyway, so let's give John some love. Since we're just talking about this, let's drop the pretense and just fucking talk about this. The Axie IE, Axie Infinity. Story of Axie Infinity. That's the correct one. Alrighty, let's go.
After months of mental conditioning through playing some of the most bland, uninspired, and overpriced games known to man, I'm ready to take on the beast that started it all. Axie Infinity. Hello, I'm John. Welcome back to the series where I play and review every crypto and NFT game from the perspective of a gamer. Today, we'll be conquering arguably the most well-known crypto game of all time. No matter what I think about this game,
Is John still trying to get... Since I'm playing this video anyway, first of all, John's great. He's awesome. Talk to the guy. Cool guy, great content. Here's a link to this video and his channel, please give him a subscribe. He's great. I know he was also trying to get voted best in some category. Wonder if he still is. Can someone go check like John's Twitter and see if he's still doing the vote for that best like NFT or Web3 game YouTube creator? Because I want him to win.
This is bound to be my most controversial video yet. Regardless, let's get started. Axie Infinity is an NFT game developed by Vietnamese game studio Sky Mavis. Beginning development in 2017, Axie Infinity was heavily inspired by one of the very first crypto games called CryptoKitties, which used NFTs to represent virtual creatures in-game. Axie Infinity promises a player-controlled economy and hours of endless fun, all facilitated through innovative and extremely trendy blockchain technology. It's also been called a pyramid scheme that relies on cheap labor from countries like the Philippines to fuel its growth. Wow, that's pretty harsh, Wikipedia. Peaking in popularity in mid-2021, Axie Infinity was at one point hailed by mainstream media as financial relief for the jobless. These articles primarily focused on how players in developing nations such as the Philippines, Brazil, and Venezuela can earn money simply by playing a fun little video game. Is this the future of work? Reaching a peak monthly player count of nearly 3 million people, Axie Infinity's popularity rivaled that of some of the most successful video games of all time. It's important to note that Axie Infinity is not a free-to-play game. Far from it, actually. In order to play the original Axie Infinity, a player must own a team of 3 Axie NFTs, represented by these blob creatures that are supposed to be axolotls. I don't see a resemblance. These Axies can be purchased using cryptocurrency and are stored in a cryptocurrency wallet in the form of an NFT. Like other NFTs during the crypto bubble of 2021, Axies were very expensive. Prices for a single Axie started as low as $300.
Someone asked to see the GameStop chart. Sure. Here's the year, 5-year. You can see where it actually peaked in 2021 with the meme stock thing. Hold on, I'm gonna make this bigger. I might get rid of Twitch chat just for right now on the screen because this is so obtrusive. I gotta figure something else out. Disappear this real quick. So as you can see in 2021, it peaked post-split $81, and it is all the way down to $14. Lately, they've been excited the past day or so because it went up. It was hovering in the $12 range for a little bit, which was the lowest it had been in quite a while. But then it shot up to $17 yesterday, and now it's back down to $14.75. They're celebrating despite that, again, the peak was 80-something. Still a ways to go down.
$100 a piece, with the strongest and rarest Axies costing hundreds of thousands of dollars. This high entry cost is apparently justified.
Read the top. Yes, if you bought in the IPO of GameStop, you would make a lot of money right now, correct?
Due to the fact that
Did you buy GameStop at the IPO, Dragon Ape? Or did you buy it in 2021 and post-2021? Why would you make such a dishonest argument? Is it because you don't have a better one? Think about it.
Axie Infinity rewards players in the form of cryptocurrency for playing the game. Axie Infinity has 2 main cryptocurrencies, Smooth Love Potions, also known as SLP, and the Axie Infinity token, called AXS. These cryptocurrencies can be freely bought and sold in exchange for money in the real world. The rapid hype and growth of the Axie Infinity player base brought the coins to highs of 42 cents and $166 respectively in 2021, bringing in
Bought in January 2021 around $9. Wow. That's a shame you didn't sell it. It's all-time highs. What's your price average? How much you in?
immense profits to some holders of the coins. Thus, Axie Infinity became the first mainstream play-to-earn type game. But with an entry cost of over $1,000 for a basic team of 3 Axies, a major investment must be made before someone can start playing and earning. This prohibitive entry price eventually led to the need for what would be called a scholarship system. This is the
scummiest fucking shit. This is so gross, and this is inherently the problem with so much of this NFT shit. It exists to effectively create digital landlords and digital, capital holders that can then rent things out. They want to create a rental economy digitally, which sounds like the worst thing. The second that gets, like, normalized, I'm done. I'll be a boomer. I'm just gonna play old games from then on. I'm good. No thank you. Why did you pull up a scam NFT video? Because this was the biggest NFT game in the world. You want me to pull up a video on a different one? Name the specific NFT game you want me to pull up a video on, because John has probably covered it. I will specifically allow you to pick, Alamo. Which video do you want me to play? Thank you, Harold Elberman. Harold Elberman posted the tweet where you can go and help out John. Vote, please. The Game Awards. He deserves it. He does really hard work. And smart guy.
Allows players without $1,000 to instead borrow a team of Axes from someone else, but in exchange, they forfeit a large percentage of their earnings to the lender.
Alamo, you didn't answer my question. Which NFT game isn't a scam and is really legit and you want me to cover? Because I would like to steal woman your argument. Steal man your argument, whatever. I would like to do that. Tell me what you think the most promising best NFT game is, and I'll pull up that one. Illuvium? Let's do it. See if John has done it. If not, we'll have to look at gameplay. Oops. Misspelled. Sorry. Illuvium. Here we go. Oh, this is the card battler one, I think. I think I've seen this. I think I did the hydrate, but I'll do it again just in case you didn't see it.
Okay, fine. I'll do it. Illuvium is probably the most requested game for me to review on this channel, but for the longest time I've been unable to play it. This is because the game is locked behind a hard-to-get private beta key, which I applied for on the same day that I started this channel.
How old is this video? 4 months ago.
Unfortunately, I still have
I can already tell where this is going. How old is this video? This is updated. This is beta. We are going into this assuming we get it. You said it's a beta. We get it. Calm down. Put the goalposts down. We haven't even talked about them yet.
haven't received beta access, but thanks to one of my viewers, I was able to borrow their account and give the game a try. So let's get into it. Illuvium was first announced sometime around March 2021. Advertised as a AAA NFT game, the project raised over $15 million in seed funding, as well as millions more through selling virtual land and their very own crypto token. Alright, barely a minute in and we've already run into an issue. Illuvium is absolutely not a AAA game. It's the debut title from an unknown, newly formed game studio that has no previous development track record. This is, by definition, an indie game. But with over $15 million, Illuvium would rank among some of the highest budget indie projects of the decade. Because of this, my expectations are through the roof. I'm sure that they'll be pulling out the high dollar marketplace assets for this one. The game is featured on the homepage of our old friend the GameStop NFT marketplace, right next to Undead Blocks and Kiraverse. Knowing how atrocious those two games are, Illuvium doesn't have a whole lot of competition. Following through to their website, one of the first things we see is this following quote: "Join the fight for Ethereum." Imagine if World of Warcraft's homepage said, "Join the fight for the Canadian dollar." Anyway, I don't care about any of this white paper stuff anymore. It's always the same, so let's just play the game. Oh, you gotta be kidding me. The game launches directly to a menu where we can choose between two different game modes, Illuvium Arena or Illuvium Overworld. I'll start with the Overworld first, since that's always what they're showing in their trailers. The Illuvium team is proud to welcome you to the private beta of Illuvium Overworld. As this is a private beta, some gameplay features are not enabled, and others are a work in
The public beta came out today, apparently.
progress. Understandable,
I wouldn't recommend it,
I guess, although I've probably complained about this problem dozens
specifically because I just don't think NFTs are good.
of times already. If your game is in beta, it's supposed to be almost complete. Considering the amount of time and money that's been spent on supposedly developing this game, it would be reasonable to expect the game to be close to feature complete. Anyway, let's get started. While it loads, I want to bring up something that's been a recurring issue with Illuvium. The launch date for this game has been delayed quite a few times. It was originally planned to release in the fourth quarter of 2021, but that was soon delayed until 2022, and then late 2022. And now they've all but shoved the full release date under the rug and forgotten about it. There was actually a decent amount of hype surrounding this game in crypto Twitter, but I really don't see too much about it anymore. Since they keep delaying the full release, all while still selling NFTs, the size of their community and the value of the assets have both shrunk tremendously. The game's proprietary unregulated
The GameStop marketplace is still in beta, and it's thriving.
security, I mean
Just like their crypto wallet. Beautiful, beautiful stuff.
cryptocurrency, was trading at highs of nearly $2,000 in late 20.
Wife. Hi. You know anything about today's stream?
Watching tiny.
Did you see the interview or anything about it earlier?
Oh no, I was very focused. Last. Now submitted to Morance. Out of my hand.
Morance people, this is my wife.
Hello, I am wife.
Morance came on earlier, we had a discussion.
Oh no.
Nah, it was fun. It was fun.
Hello, father. Hanging out.
Yeah, sure. There you go.
Oh, I get to.
Oh yeah.
I didn't. Yes. Oh, here.
2021. This was obviously
Some of the GameStop people were talking about NFT games and how like Player and Web3 in the future, that's the future of GameStop, or at least part of it. So then I got into how I don't like NFT games and how I think they're a bad idea and NFTs are a bad idea, and they said I don't know what I'm talking about. And I said, okay, name good NFT games. We ended up putting on a video about Axie Infinity because it was like the most famous, but then someone complained and said, that's a scam.
Yeah, I heard.
So I
This,
said, fine, which one do you want? And now here we are watching a video on the one they picked, and now the goalposts have already moved too. But this it's a beta, and this was 4 months ago. Okay, 4 months ago this was a game that they released into private beta where people could comment on it. So that's the context this is happening in. We know that. That doesn't make his arguments invalid in their entirety, as much as you want that to be the case. So let's listen, knowing the context like adults, and see what there is to see.
Don't understand.
I just don't understand.
It's not like you've been covering this stuff for years.
unsustainable, and ever since, the tokens consistently lost value until reaching today's price of $44, making for about a 97% decline. Well, the game's finally loaded, so here we are, the overworld. This game just screams made in Unreal. I bet as soon as I move the camera, there's going to be a disgusting amount of motion blur. Watch. Yeah, color me surprised. Well, there's absolutely no instructions or tutorial or anything, so I guess I'll just start walking around. These movement
I love like the fact that like engines are so accessible these days, so if you're like a smaller developer, you can like license Unreal Engine and get a game that looks so professional and great. But on the same token, it unfortunately makes it easier for lower bar things like scams or just bad ideas to look more professional than they actually are. That's a shame.
controls are pretty fluid, surprisingly. You can run, jump, and slide around, and it feels good, although the jump is kind of pitiful. There's also a soundtrack, which the fact that they actually made one is pretty impressive. But unfortunately, it's just a looping ambient drone, so nothing to get excited about. So after a few minutes of walking around the empty overworld looking for some form of instruction or goal, I found this massive hub area with some computer screens. Interacting with one prompts me to join either a training or a competitive survival game, so I chose training. Wow, they definitely went all out with the visual flair for this game. Although, similar to Kiraverse, I kind of feel overwhelmed by purple. So, what do I do?
The only thing I'll disagree with you on, John, you can never be overwhelmed by purple.
No tutorial or instructions or any directions at all. Man, I haven't played a crypto game in so long, I almost forgot just how terrible these are. Well, luckily for us, it doesn't take a genius to figure out that this is supposed to be an auto battler. Pretty much the same as
Oof.
League of Legends
It's fine if you like auto battlers, that's fine. I just hate that.
team
That's a personal thing. But it is a genre.
fight tactics. Yeah, an auto battler. The genre that was already pretty much a passing fad by 2022.
What?
If-
Battler?
Oh, you have like decks like this, like you have different like powers or different like creatures that you have in your deck, and then you put them out and then they like battle.
If you don't know what an auto battler is, I'll summarize it for you.
Oh,
You
alright.
place monsters or characters on this little board here to build your team, and then you watch them automatically fight the enemies. Typically, these games have online player versus player, and they're played in a round format. Each round, you take turns pitting your team against one of the other players in the match, and then you lose points if you lose a battle. Whenever someone loses all their points, they are removed from the rotation. This rotation continues until only one player is left standing.
That's fine if this is something that you're into. I get it. I play idle games. So, like, I get it. Everyone has their little Skinner boxes that they like for one reason or another, and I have no problem with that. But I do think if you are asked, hey, what's, like, the best NFT game? What's an example that you think is going to show that the future of gaming is NFTs, and the future of GameStop is involved in Web3 and those NFTs? This is not a game to pick. It would be like... it would be like pulling up Cookie Clicker and being like, this is the future of gaming. No. Like, it's a cool little thing, and that's fine in and of itself, the game. But A, it doesn't need NFTs. The NFTs are not doing anything to benefit it. And B, it's probably not going to be big enough that it's a phenomenon that's going to drive people into the ecosystem. It's a very niche product.
But I guess that's too complicated because
You haven't even played it. Oh god, are we doing that now?
Illuvium
No one has. It's an auto battler. The gameplay is here. The things that I'm doing. Go! And then it plays itself. So no one's played it, really, if you think about it that way. It's barely a game.
simplifies it even more. Instead of playing
This is insanity.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
It's you haven't played it. You just don't understand. Over and over and over and over.
against other players, your only option is to play against the computer. Yeah, that's right. This game is not an online PvP game.
I assume with the open beta, they probably started the online PvP.
You just sit here and see how many rounds of NPCs you can beat before you lose all your monsters or the game crashes, whichever comes first. For me, that was on round 2, when I lost the ability to click on any.
That's like saying you only drive cars in Fortnite. In Fortnite, the primary gameplay is building things and shooting people. You can drive around in vehicles and stuff, but like, that's a small part of it. If this is primarily an auto battler, then that's the primary gameplay loop of the game, is the auto battling. It's not a side thing, it's the thing. It's the primary gameplay.
anything and had to read
This game has various portions, so it's like a mini game collection strung together with NFTs. That sounds great. Are they gonna do carnival games next? I loved that one.
restart the game to get it to work again. Thrilling. The graphics are definitely not bad, and it is
Why am I like this?
nice to look at the creatures fighting. You can zoom and pan the camera freely around the arena, which is something that I haven't seen before in an auto battler. However, watching your little creatures battle is interesting for all of 60 seconds, and then after that, you'll just minimize the game and go do something else while your monsters battle in the background. Now, this would be fine if the game was lightweight, but of course, it's not. I don't know if there's something seriously wrong with the game's optimization, or if it's secretly mining crypto on my GPU, but just having it open in the background was causing my GPU to run hotter than
Why do NFTs have to be a part of this game? So NFT bros have something to claim as a use case.
any other game I've ever played. Like, look at this. My GPU is maxing out at 95 degrees and 100% utilization as
Oh,
long as the game's
no.
open, even with the
This is not a graphically intensive game! Oh no!
graphics all the way
Oh god, I hope you set up a virtual machine for this shit.
Is it like mining crypto in the background?
It wouldn't surprise me.
on the
Oh my god.
lowest settings. Plus, it's not like the game has good performance.
Oh, that's a big pile of books. That sucks.
Why?
Why? He says, fuck books! And there goes an... Yeah, That's...
Why?
By any means. I could barely hold 40 FPS just walking around the overworld. This is surprising to me, since I can usually play most games on max settings without my graphics card melting a hole through the floor. I played the auto battle mode for a few more minutes, pretty much just picking monsters at random. Since this just goes on forever though, I got bored and quit to see if there's anything more interesting to do. Since there's no directions given to me, the best I can do is wander around aimlessly. I found this crafting table where I can upgrade items and monsters for the auto battler, but I don't have any resources to upgrade anything with, so I guess I gotta go find some. I then proceeded to spend the next 20 minutes walking around the island in search of materials. My eyes were almost immediately drawn to this large triangular
Oh my god, is it literally you walk around and have to collect resources like fucking Minecraft or Rust? That's one of the other... Oh my god, did they strap like 6 different Unreal Engine demos together and treat it like it's a full game? Like, was that the premise? Like, is there a generic island setup that you can have for like a survival game that they put in there, and then an auto battler separate demo that they got, and then they just kind of linked them together through a hub world and menus and treat them like they're one game that they just tweaked? Because that'd be fucking hilarious.
ship in the southwest of the island, and so I jumped, slid, and hovered my way through the plasticine landscape to reach it. But just as the ship entered my sights, I encountered a massive invisible wall spanning the remainder of the island, which made it impossible to actually go anywhere near the ship. How disappointing. After that, I kept searching around for some materials, but I couldn't find anything at all. So I did what any sane person would do and returned to the main menu, desperate to find some form of entertainment. I know people are going to comment and say, John, you didn't even give the game a chance. And you're right, I really didn't.
Oh my god, he did the thing! Alamo says that's how most all Web3 games will be, ellipses. All connected. Like Ready Player One. Famously, Ready Player One, which is definitely a good book. I fucking hate that book. I've read that fucking book. Have you fucking read that book? That book sucks. And also, you could have referenced Snow Crash. Snow Crash was right goddamn there.
And that's because I know what the actual gameplay is supposed to be. You just walk around on this completely barren world looking for resources. There are no end.
Seriously though, that's a really stupid excuse. It sounds like you're trying to excuse them duct taping 7 games together by acting as though it's the same thing as having a literal, like, virtual world that you can navigate. That's not even an ideal situation. People don't usually want that.
NPCs.
Delcos with a $2 super chat says, so 205 degrees Fahrenheit, 160 Fahrenheit is where damage starts.
There are no enemies or any goals. Since I have no long-term intentions of playing this game, I want to minimize the damage to my graphics card. The overworld is comically boring, and judging by discussions in the game's Discord server and YouTube comments, I'm not the only one that feels this way. So, back on the main menu where we have the only other game mode.
To be clear, I gotta ask, you know that Ready Player One is dystopian, right? Like, the world of Ready Player One is not aspirational. Ready Player One is a horrible dystopia where people, instead of dealing with their material problems, go and hide away in a fantasy land where they don't have to actually face reality. You're not supposed to think, that's great, let's do that. Don't create the Torment Nexus.
Competitive mode. But what's this? It's just a ranked version
Dr. Worm, you said it first.
Of the PvE auto
Wanted to be clear.
battler. The goal is to try and see how many rounds you can complete, and then you get ranked on a leaderboard. It's essentially a test of patience and willpower, as well as the thermal capacity of your graphics card. I thought I'd be able to pit my alluvials against enemy players. What gives? Have they not finished the multiplayer? Well, apparently, there aren't even any plans to add multiplayer anytime soon. This seems like a massive oversight. Why would anyone be spending money on the overpriced NFTs if you can't even flex on poor people? Anyway, after loading into the competitive mode, I opened up Cheat Engine and used it to hack the game. As usual, there is no anti-cheat, so I could just fast forward through the combat at my leisure. But even then, I couldn't stomach this for more than
That's really good to have in a game where you're supposed to have currency that can actually be traded on a market for real-world currency, by the way, that you can easily cheat the game mechanics. That's a good idea.
5 minutes. An NFT auto battler would have made a bit more sense maybe 2 years ago when the game was first announced. But while the game has been repeatedly delayed, the popularity of auto battlers has significantly declined, and Hearthstone and League of Legends pretty much have complete dominance over the genre. This leaves Illuvium in a rather interesting position. Even if auto battlers were still in fashion, Illuvium would never have stood a chance anyway. It's a completely unknown IP, it requires a beefy computer to run, and still runs terribly, and it doesn't even have multiplayer. What's up with NFT games and copying oversaturated genres that have already been done to death? Are they even trying to be original? Who am I kidding? Originality doesn't make money. There's actually a third Illuvium game mode, but it's separate from the two that I played already. This one is unplayable unless you own Illuvium land, which unsurprisingly costs a few $100s. It looks bare.
Have you ever spent any amount of money on an NFT game and spent money on virtual land? Take the L. Take it. It's yours. Free real estate.
Bare bones, amateur, and unfinished, so I can't see any reason to be spending $700 to play this. The long-term goal.
Oh, it looks like a mobile game. Holy shit. This looks like a mobile game that's going to ask me to buy gems.
Do these people think that you play Fortnite?
Fortnite was mentioned, and I have played it before. Oh, how much money have I spent on skins in Fortnite? $0. $0. I don't play Fortnite regularly. I've played it a few times in my life, and I just use the generic skins. If you're asking if I've ever paid for a microtransaction, yes, unfortunately. But that's just what it was. It was a purchase. I gave them money. They gave me access to a thing. I have zero interest in turning digital bullshit that is infinitely, replicable into fake scarcity and a bullshit stock market. I do not want people betting on Fortnite skin futures. That is so dystopian, it makes my brain want to vomit. Not my stomach. My brain will grow a stomach and a mouth, and I will throw up out of my forehead. It will be disgusting. Why in the world would you ever think that's a good idea?
According to Illuvium, is for all of these games to be free to play, which they're gonna have to do.
Fortnite skins grossed $50 million for Epic Games. Yes, it did. And they didn't have to have NFTs involved at all for that. In fact, it works better for them without NFTs, huh? Wow. Almost like the NFTs are a stupid idea you're trying to relate to Fortnite simply because you have to in order to find a use case. Oh my god, have we made a huge mistake?
I'm confused. Fortnite skins made the company that owns Fortnite money.
Yes.
It didn't make the players that own the skins money.
Correct, but what they are saying is, but what if they could, bro? But what if they could, bro?
But why would they? Why would they throw their profit to other people?
But what if they could, bro? Right on. Elminato says, have some money to get Todd Howard's golden horse armor. Thank you, Elminato. Thank you.
If they want to get any attention. And even then, I really can't see this game attracting any sort of mainstream audience. One of the most popular viral hits in gaming right now is BattleBit Remastered, which is a...
Let me be clear again. You owning an NFT does not mean you own an asset in the sense you are saying. As I explained, the NFT is the key. The game is the lock. So let's say the example you're giving, Fortnite. Let's pretend all Fortnite skins are now NFTs. The NFT is the key. The actual game, the servers, are the lock. So you can own that key, but if the company changes the lock or doesn't accept your key, doesn't really matter. You don't own anything, do ya? Just an idea. You are not any more in control of a digital quote-unquote asset if you have something on the blockchain than if it is centrally stored with Epic Games. Any amount of, like, freedom or independence you think you are doing here is theater. It's fake. It's not real. You're trying to come up with a narrative that makes you feel like you have agency over something that you just cannot have.
A $15 indie game that was made by a team of like 8 people on a budget of just Patreon supporters. And it's awesome. It's just plain simple fun, and it doesn't have any microtransactions.
Let me see. Judge Stark says, this is hilarious, dismisses the amount of money Fortnite makes, but that people spending money on lands and other skins is bad. I also think it's bad that we are in an economy in gaming where you buy skins for Fortnite, but at the very least, it's A, a free-to-play game, B, it's a one-time purchase. You buy it, you have a license to use it in the game. It's easy, it's simple, it is what it is. What you are talking about is creating imaginary markets for speculation by trying to tokenize digital items into some sort of asset that can be commodified. That's weird. You're imagining a way to make up markets of things that you could actually make infinite copies of. You are orchestrating a fake virtual market of scarcity just so you can gamble? That's unhealthy and dystopian. That's terrible. And just because I say that doesn't mean I like the economy of microtransactions or giant corporations. I'm saying your idea is also horrifying in maybe a worse way.
Okay, so they said that they don't assume that things will be around forever. Okay, so you're just spending money on NFTs and then don't care whether or not, like, what's the point
of the
an
NFT? Yeah. It might as well just be a license I get from Bethesda to have horse armor. You know what I mean? Like, what's the point? And if they want to do a secondary market for skins, NFTs don't need to be involved either. Counter-Strike, for instance, has had a market for selling skins for weapons and stuff for years, and they've never had NFT integration. So, like, what's even the argument here? Because while the game is running, you can choose if you sell it. Okay, you can do that with Counter-Strike without NFTs. If a business wanted to make a secondary marketplace for this kind of thing, they always could. This was not a technical limitation that requires NFTs. It is a business decision.
Or pay-to-win nonsense, which
Yeah. Delcos with $2 says, more accurately, you're buying just the lock itself.
is something that modern gaming is overrun with. Its success is a clear indicator that gamers are sick of being nickel and dimed at every corner.
Don't be like old parents. What about what I said was boomer? Explain, with words, why what you want is not achievable without NFTs. Calling me a boomer doesn't make it so.
NFT games are the complete opposite of that. They're the embodiment of overpriced garbage, and anyone with a rudimentary understanding of the current gaming landscape should know that nobody's asking for these games. But degenerate crypto gamblers will still speculate on these crappy projects regardless. Well, I've had this game installed for about an hour, and I've seen everything that the game has to offer. I know, it's hard to believe, but the world's first AAA NFT game is nothing more than the Unreal Engine third-person starter kit with swapped-out models in a barren world with nothing to do but pick up objects, a single-player PvE-only auto-battler that is a carbon copy of Teamfight Tactics, a crypto trading and virtual land speculation platform that's done nothing but bleed value, and some sort of management game that looks like every other mobile city builder, but is locked behind a couple $100 paywall. Something I don't think
I can't even imagine.
I'll ever
$600 or something like that to play that fucking mobile-ass looking game.
understand is just how quickly
Old people don't understand the importance of a teenager's phone. How old are you? Are you 60 or 12?
crypto
I can't tell. It's one or the other.
fans simp
I can't tell if this is an old person thinking they're in touch with youths, or youths not understanding reality and thinking I'm out of touch and that I don't also use my phone all the time. Like, how old do you think I am, motherfucker? Like, do you think I'm 50? Look at my phone. I'm on all the goddamn time. I think I bought a folding phone to eschew it because of the youths.
It's funny, because, like, Hannah's not even 30 yet, friend.
For these games and defend them, despite them being entirely void of.
Let's see. Judge says, you would rather pay a game and give the dev team all of your money rather than play it and trade skins you no longer need while playing the game. You and the team make money. Current paradigm, only dev team does. Correct, because introducing a market and speculation introduces so many negative externalities into the situation that it's destructive to the ecosystem as a whole. Ecosystem. Like, the second that something becomes a speculative market, it is fucking destroyed. Like, I'm not kidding. Like, you guys know that I collect, like, Blu-rays. If you're into old video games, if you're into used video games, when speculators enter the market, they destroy it for everyone who actually enjoys the thing. They come in, they buy things, they sit on them, they rent them, they wait and try and jack up the price through artificial scarcity. It is disgusting. When you benefit, when you try and say, I want NFTs in gaming, what you are saying is you want scalping to exist in gaming digitally, basically. You are saying, this system sucks, but you know what would be better? Way worse shit. Hey, we're all getting taken advantage of. You know what would be better? If I could take advantage of other people. Fuck all the way off. All of it. All of it off.
Of any redeeming qualities. Looking at this game through a normal person's eyes, you see a game made by an unknown studio that's collected millions of dollars and delivered nothing of substance despite having 2 years of full-time development. The product that they have today is derivative, poorly optimized, lacking any form of tutorial or goal, doesn't have multiplayer, and has no story besides fighting for Ethereum. If this was a normal non-crypto game, it would have been blasted all over Reddit, big YouTubers would be covering it, and there would actually be consequences for the developers. Kind of like what happened with The Day Before, that fake zombie game. However, since it's crypto, hardly anyone even knows that these games exist, and even less actually care about them. This usually results in the fan bases of these crypto games turning to borderline cult behavior, performing acrobatic feats to jump through hoops and defend the games that they've bet their life savings on.
Can't imagine that happening. I wonder what that's like.
And of course, creating an echo chamber consisting of only the most positive opinions. I mean, why would anyone ever want to trash talk a game that they're financially invested in? So, is that really it? Yeah, believe it or not. I don't think it's unrealistic for me to say that a team of 10 somewhat experienced Unreal Engine developers could have put this together in a few months with a budget of a few $1,000s. This should not have taken anywhere close to 2 years. Oh, I forgot to mention that they say that Illuvium is a decentralized studio. Just because you slap the label.
Hey, Logan, thanks for the raid. Welcome, Raiders. Today we're looking at meme stock meltdowns. I'm actually dealing with some people in YouTube chat that are very pro NFT, and I'm discussing why that's a bad idea. So welcome. Go check out KF Logan on Saturday around 4. I will be doing a charity stream over there. So check that out too. Cool beans. Hope your stream was good.
Decentralized on something doesn't actually make it decentralized. There's still only one Illuvium. I can't just go create my own fork of the game and make it better. Everything still relies on the ultimate control of the game's developers. Plus, they encrypted the Unreal Engine pack files, so I can't even extract the models to own my own assets. At least the Kiraverse devs were kind enough to leave everything unencrypted. So, in conclusion, Illuvium is definitely one of the games of all time. Visually, it looks decent, and it appears to be a serious and successful game due to their facade of polish and marketing. However, as a gamer, it's a complete joke and deserves to be forgotten, just like every other crypto game I've played. The gameplay is so bare bones that it barely exists, and there really seems to be no overall direction or goal behind the game in general. They're splitting their focus between 3 different games running on 2 different engines instead of just making a single complete product. It's been delayed a ton already, and I wouldn't be surprised if it's delayed again, because otherwise they're just going to look like fools if they launch the game in its current state. And that's why I'm awarding Illuvium the crown as the worst NFT game ever. It embodies everything wrong with crypto gaming and is a prime example of why the concept of a crypto game will never break into the mainstream. Anyone with a real passion for creating an innovative, fun, and interesting game wouldn't touch crypto with a 50-foot pole. And any gamer interested in a good time wouldn't waste their time playing this, as there's so many better non-crypto alternatives on the market. Crypto seems to attract the lowest common denominator both in development teams and player base. Everybody is only in it to get as much money as fast as possible. Delivering a complete product is actually probably the worst thing that an NFT game could do, because then they wouldn't be able to keep stringing investors along.
Yeah. The biggest product that they have is speculation. Buy our cryptocurrency tied to this game, because one day maybe it'll be worth more money. And that's the entire point. It's basically a money-making speculation scheme wrapped in a game, and the game doesn't really matter.
Through drip feeding them promises. What's next then? Is crypto gaming done for good? Well, probably not, unfortunately, but making these videos is pretty much just beating a dead horse at this point. I've played 20 NFT games over the past 8 months, and not one of them has successfully proven that crypto and gaming is a good combination. Crypto is pretty much nothing more than a vehicle to get undeserved hype and funding for your game without adding any actual value. If anything, actually, it makes the experience worse for the users. Because of this, I don't really feel like it's...
Why didn't he show any of the NFTs? Like the cards? I assume the cards and like mobs here are NFTs? Pretty sure these are the NFTs. Does it matter? He's reviewing the game. Like, I find that so interesting. Like, are you wanting him to review them like it's like the Bored Ape Club and he wants to review the individual NFTs? A quick Google search revealed Illuvium has revealed multiple roadmaps, which is what people are referring to when they say the delay happened.
It's worth my time making these long, detailed criticisms of these crappy crypto games. Besides, I always have the same complaints anyway. So going forward, for any crypto game content that I make, I'd rather a raw, unscripted reaction type video than sitting down and spending 15 hours writing scripts and editing videos for a game that barely deserves my attention. This brings us to the question that you're probably all wondering. What am I gonna do now? Well, I created this channel to talk about terrible crypto games because I was sick of seeing nothing but praise for some of the most offensively bad excuses for a game mankind has ever seen. But now, it's time for me to get back to work on stuff that I actually enjoy doing. Does this mean that I'm quitting YouTube? No, not at all. But I'm going to be changing the focus of the channel to more general gaming content. That means that I'm going to be one of those channels making 4.5-hour videos about obscure Dreamcast games. Just kidding. But believe it or not, reviewing NFT games is not my passion. I'll still do them, but don't
Make a Seaman video, John, you coward. Seriously though, John's great. So, that was certainly a detour.
Such date and the company's shelf registration statement on Form S3. Pursuant to the prospectus supplement, the company may offer and sell up to a maximum of 12 million shares. The company is not obligated to sell any shares under the sales agreement and may at any time suspend offers under the sales agreement or terminate the sales agreement. The sales agent will be entitled to compensation as provided under the terms of the sales agreement.
This
All
one Pulte comes on, because I know I wanted to cover like the most recent Pulte. Oh, are they talking about this picture again? This is the picture that makes them think that Carl Icahn is involved in this nonsense, because one time he took this picture with Ryan Cohen.
which are so important. So October the 18th,
I am not mad at you, Alamo. You are a stranger on the internet, and I will forget that all of you exist when I turn the camera. No, I'm sorry, I'm kidding. No, I don't care. I like having discussions like this. Thank you for viewing. I appreciate it.
the S4 was filed, and this picture was taken.
Like, it's one thing when we're talking about, like, other things I do on this show where it's, like, flat earthers or, like, assholes. I just think you're wrong about video games. That's not, like, a crime. That's fine.
Can't believe that hasn't sang me.
Restream is really
It is her birthday, chat.
Well,
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Dr. Baha. Happy birthday to you.
Sorry, I couldn't respond to you because my microphone stand had fallen off my desk, and
no, you're good.
my wife was just helping me get it back on. Okay, sorry. Go ahead, Spidey.
So as I was saying, the date that the S4 was put in place or that was filed was the 18th. And this picture of Carl Icahn and Ryan Cohen, as you said, was the 17th.
Wow. That's nonsense. Aaliyah, thanks for saying happy birthday to Baha.
Was the 18th.
And everyone else also, but you gave bits, so I had to note it.
Picture of Carl Icahn.
As is our arrangement.
And Ryan Cohen, as you said, was the 17th.
Thank you, everyone.
Logarth with 100 bits says, birthday biddies, I just had mine like 3 days ago. Sagittarius buddies.
The motherfucking, that's the proof is in the pudding, man, is what it is.
Tell him, baby. Tell him. So I think, again, I think Gustavo, his last hurrah, is given 6th Street control. Because in that, he basically busted out the company and the FILO, whoever's holding the FILO, which basically means whoever's holding, again, in my opinion,
on the exhibit.
All right.
Oh, this is the airplane hangar.
All right, see you, man. All right, sounds good.
The plane.
Let's take a look at that. Yeah, go ahead, Michael.
Oh, I think that's what you're saying. The plane.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. So December 14th, secret location, Pulte Peepee plus Peepee Show. All right. If you want to come DM now. And here we have, looks like a fucking airplane hangar. Wow.
It is an airplane hangar. I feel like when you say the word airplane hangar, though, you imagine something bigger. And maybe that's just because I've played too much Grand Theft Auto. But this just looks like a 5-car garage, which is a big garage. I don't know if I'd invite 175 people over to my 5-car garage, but that's just me. I certainly also wouldn't charge them $500, but I don't know. Maybe that's why I'm not rich, like Pulte.
Looks like we might be partying out of a fucking on a fucking airstrip, fellas. Right on. All right, cool. Yeah, we've been selling a shitload of fucking tickets, man. So again, if you still are looking for a spot, be sure to contact, hit me up on Twitter, whatever it may be, and we'll get you a fucking a ticket. That's fucking wild, man. Ready for takeoff. Holy shit, man. Could you imagine? Cool. I'm fucking hyped, man. You know, again, I think it's going to be a good time. There's a lot of people showing interest in the event. My DMs absolutely exploded since last night. A lot of people are wanting tickets. A lot of people are getting in. So right on, man. Can't wait to meet everybody. All right, cool. So let's go ahead and pull in these guests backstage here. We do have a couple people right now. So give me just a moment here.
The drinks thing annoys me. Like, Pulte, absolutely. If he has the money that he presents himself to have, let's say, why couldn't he hire caterers? You're charging people like there are most concert tickets would be considered expensive at $500. And you're charging $500 for people to come to this airplane hangar, and you can't even promise that you're going to give them drinks?
That's like a Taylor Swift Eras.
Right? Like, what are we doing? What is this? Only the young.
Oh, man, we have quite a bit backstage.
I think some want to stay in the back.
That's a reference. It's a reference to Taylor Swift. He's doing it purposefully.
Two of them wanted to stay in the back, so I think it's just Mike Hands and then redacted.
Okay.
And Famous.
Okay, all right. Chat, please give a warm welcome to Mike Hands, Redacted, and also Famous Variety. All right, what's going on, Mike? Redacted.
It's a potluck. I've heard Pulte say the phrase BYOB, which is not something you want to hear at a $500 ticket event.
And also Famous, how are you guys doing tonight?
Like, I feel like you spent $500. There better be an open bar. Like, what are you doing?
What is up?
What's up, man? It's good to see you guys.
Good to see
Even
you
fellas.
guys.
too,
Yeah, I'm
baby.
good.
Yeah. So we have some interesting stuff to discuss. Again, there is a lot of docket stuff that we need to kind of sift through, things like that. But I know you guys have been sitting
Bring your own Bitcoin. Bring your own bullshit.
backstage for a little bit. Whoever wants to go first, you're more than welcome to. I know, Mike, you have.
Oof. Oof. No, Logarth, you don't understand. It's not bankruptcy, it's bankruptcy protection. Big difference.
Have some Teddy books that you want to show off tonight, and we also have Redacted with us too. Why don't we go ahead and let Redacted go first, and then I'm sure Famous Variety just is probably just going to sit in with us tonight. So Redacted, take it away, man. Let's fucking hear it. What's on your mind tonight? But my apologies before you do that. I did miss some of these tips. Let me just read them back. We got pickles for dinner with the 2, high sloppy, Elon Musk with the 5, power to the peepees, random recipe with the $6.99. Yo,
It's funny to me how much, like, GameStop people hate the PP people. I get it. The PP show is obnoxious. But I'm not gonna lie, I find it a little funny when he uses, like, GameStop-related stuff, and you guys get mad. Like, I know that's not fun, and it's probably not healthy to find that funny, but I do.
Peepee for Florida, do we have a Discord or anything? Can be cool if we want to hang out at our favorite burgers, drink beer, and even choose an hotel. Random recipe, you need to get with me on Twitter, man, so that we can get you verified into our chat. I think we have over 100 people in terms
Aaliyah
of
with the 1 bits badge. Thank you.
VIPs in there. We're still adding more daily. So get with us, random recipe. Mo Money with the 2. 1,500 are reading with PP. Right on, man. After Burner with the 2. Appreciate the love, man. Sinstrite with the 420. Looking forward to meeting all you fellas. Anthony with the 2. They murdered him for being a turncoat. Big Pappy with the 5. For those who believe, no proof is necessary. For those who don't believe, no proof is possible. Wow, beautifully said, man. We also got Watt DC with the 10 PP Show gifted memberships, man. Right on. Appreciate your fucking
Right on.
support, fellas. All right, Redacted, let's hear it, man. What's on your mind tonight?
Hey, what's up, fellas? I hope you can hear me okay. I'm on a different device.
Yes. Yeah, we can hear you. You sound
All
good.
right, cool. All right, sorry if there's a little reverb. I don't have my headset or anything. So I had Michael bring up pretty much the only thing I want to share tonight is the latest docket.
Johnny says, I like Morance, though. He's not a grifter like PP. Ooh, let's introduce a little nuance here. I don't necessarily know if Morance is acting in good faith. I'll steel man it here, though, and say, yes, sure. Let's say he is. That doesn't mean he's right. In fact, I think quite the opposite. I still think he's very wrong in giving consistently incorrect and misleading information because he believes something that isn't true. That's sort of the word I'm thinking of. The benevolent read on it.
The addresses on the Exhibit A.
For docket 2728. Yeah.
Yes. So if you click on the image to bring it up a little bit, the first one, you'll see that the first addressee is Bed Bath & Beyond Procurement Co. Inc. With the address of Beyond Overstock.
Not the delusional stuff PP makes up. See, now we're talking about a difference of degree. You know? In my opinion, we're talking about a difference of degree and not category.
Bed Bath & Beyond Procurement Co. Inc. Was renamed. They had to change a name in 2012 to Liberty Procurement Co. Inc. You can find that on the patent office, and I believe in the next image as well. That happened in 2012. Oh no, I'm sorry. It was the next link I sent you. Liberty Procurement Co. Inc. is Bed Bath and Beyond Procurement Co. Inc. But for some reason they have Overstock's or the New Beyond's address. They were the fully owned subsidiary of Bed Bath and Beyond.
Some of that again. Orders can now 6 different companies.
Thanks, Phoenix. Love you. Judge says, but these guys are wacko with the stuff they think is happening. Nothing they've said will happen has happened. I argue the same thing about most of the predictions that the GME community, or at large the Super Stonk community, has said about GME over the years. Like the overvote thing that didn't work out for you guys. Like, there are examples of predictions coming and going and things not happening constantly, and the goalposts continue to shift. Like, every day, the hedge funds are running out of ammo. They're always desperate. They can't always actually be desperate and running out of ammo. Forever, for years. That's a consistent goalpost shift. You must recognize that. At least I would hope.
What happened today, this isn't remorse, it's fear. This guy's been talking the loudest for months.
Sure.
Until Polte yesterday, all Polte said was, I wonder who's behind the short destroyer account. And look what happened.
Oh, it's Salvatore. Salvatore's hilarious. Hold on, let me go back.
Which exact what's the are you saying the company itself was involved in the merger between?
Sorry, I'm just trying to get to the Salvatore portion.
You said,
And if we know what this cloud energy case regarding old and cold requirements might be. I have a
tonight, man. Great to see you tonight.
Judge says, I don't think they'll make me rich. Do I think I will make a profit down the line? Yes. Do I see profitability this year for full year? Yes. Has it taken a long time to do this? Yes. I'm patient. Okay, but your assumption is that if the company is even profitable $1 a year, that somehow means that the company's share price will continue to grow, which implies that you think that the current share price is rational, and I don't think it is. The share price is still overinflated. Like, how in your head do you, deal with the fact that during their most profitable years, GameStop stock was worth less than it is now? How do you justify that and say that it isn't currently overvalued? Like, how could you possibly say that? And I understand that there's the general market growth that happens, but beyond that, I'm talking before the 2021 spike. How can you justify this?
Night, man. How you doing?
I'm great. My mic might be a bit shit. My network's bad where I am right now. I just wanted to come on and laugh at this fucking idiot short destroyer. This guy.
Let's hear it.
Short Destroyer's the guy that made up a fake thing, I guess, about him talking to RC. The share price is what the market thinks. It's not what the company is doing, because that's what the market dictates, not me. Oh boy, they're not completely disconnected. It feels a little bit like some of the meme stock people treat the stock market, and I don't know if it's because some of them have come from, and I'm not saying anything about you. This is just a tendency that I tend to see. And it feels like some of it's because these people were from the crypto community or get a lot of their language from the crypto community. So in their head, it's like the stock is its own thing. Like it's a shit coin. Like it's a token that can exist solely on hype. And that the actual fundamentals of the business connected to it have no relation. That's not how this works. Yes, you can of course discuss the role of perception and market sentiment, in overvaluing stock. That's why we even have a concept of overvaluing stocks. I still think Tesla's overvalued and has been for a decade. Stocks get overvalued versus their fundamentals all the time, and usually eventually the rubber meets the road, reality rings the doorbell. Hello, it's not sustainable. Bubbles are things. Existing in a bubble and saying, wow, look at how things are right now, is not an indication that in the future the bubble won't burst.
He's been actively pursuing the bed bath community for the last few months. He
Sure.
even made comments like he said he was opposed to concentration camps until he met bedbath investors,
Yeah, that's a
constantly
big problem.
attacking people. Yep. And then he blocks them like a schizophrenic and talks to them while they're blocked.
Sure.
So what happened today?
Ace Ventura says, I'll consider selling one share for 500 trillion. Yeah, man. No sell, no sell. You're fucking nailing it. We're gonna stick it to Kenny and all those goddamn short sellers, okay? This is just like The Big Short. This is just like that movie, The Big Short. You guys seen The Big Short? Really good, okay? So like, we're like Michael Knowles, man. Even though I guess he's a short seller and we don't like short sellers, but in this case, like we're like him, but like we're the good guys, man. Okay? Right on. Fennikagami with 23 months says, 23 months? Right on. Sorry. I'm late. Work distracted me. You don't have to apologize. These streams aren't mandatory. Unless that's the only reason you're here. In which case they are mandatory.
This isn't remorse, it's fear. This guy's been talking the loudest for months.
Sure.
Until Polte yesterday, all Polte said was, I wonder who's behind the Short Destroyer account. And look what happened. He deleted his account, faked a DM from RC, then he admitted it was a fake DM. Then he comes back, then he goes private, then he wipes his account, then he spends the whole day saying sorry like Justin Bieber. And this is all because of Polte. You know, Polte just put one sentence.
Did he just make a Justin Bieber joke in 2023? Almost 2024? Oh my god.
Out, and it put fear into this fucking weak.
Popular modern singer Justin Bieber, he's like him. Am I right, guys? Because Justin Bieber is an effeminate boy band singer and not a full-ass grown adult. How old is he?
Insecure serial.
Like, seriously, like, this is a joke I would have heard in high school. Oh, Justin Bieber. Funny. Do you have any pop cultural references that can't vote?
Loser. And I just want to tell you guys, we're lucky Polte is on our side because I genuinely feel sorry for people.
Sorry, the cats are fighting. One sec. He was never in a band. He was a one-man band. Okay? He was a hero. Okay? He was like Baby. Baby. Baby-O. Thought you'd always be. I also read Twilight in high school. Sorry.
People like Ryan Marshall, Brandon Jones, all those people against him because they cannot win a fight against this guy. He's a very nice guy. He's a philanthropist, but I'll tell you guys, do not fuck with Polte.
Yeah.
And, you know, all these clowns that make these threats and all of this shit that they talk, these slanderous allegations, as soon as they get caught and held accountable.
Lograt says, I'm glad Justin Bieber got rid of the monkey on his back, though. I don't know enough about Justin Bieber to know his personal things.
This is what
But that's good if he dealt with some sort of issue. Good for him.
happens. And if we look at the last few weeks,
Isn't Bieber in that weird celebrity cult church? I think I've heard that, but I don't know for sure.
look what's happened with Morance, badass trader, this
He had a monkey? Oh, like literally. It was wordplay.
fucking idiot. It's all working in our favor. All the shills are slowly getting destroyed one way or another. And we're about to fucking win. We're about to do the biggest victory lap ever. And I think Polte knows it. That's why he's put out another 75 fucking slots. Do you think he's going to invite 75 losers to
I'm sorry. Let's go back for posterity. I want to make sure this is captured in its entirety, just in case this whole channel gets deleted by PP because, you know, rug pull.
And we're about to fucking win. We're about to do the biggest victory lap ever. And I think Polte knows it. That's why he's put out another 75 fucking slots. Do you think he's going to invite 75 losers to
Mean joke mode. I mean, wouldn't you guys be kind of upset if the extra 75 weren't kind of like similar to you guys? Don't you guys want to get along? Just a thought.
come
All right, mean joke mode over.
and see him? Do you think he's going to sit there like a therapy session, like some fucking...
To be clear, Polte is claiming, and I believe him, that he is not taking money for this. I think at this point, the extra 75 tickets, the money is being collected by Kais. So I don't know if Kais is directly receiving the money and keeping it, similar to how PP is getting the money for the 100 he sold. Either way, Polte claims he's not getting the money, and sure, why not? I have no evidence otherwise.
Bonding, you know,
Yeah.
my name's PP. I've got an addiction to bed bath. No, this is going to be a fucking victory lap. So well done to everyone. You guys deserve it.
I'm excited for it.
Yeah, right on. No, I mean, like, you're not wrong, and the thing is that the guy did like a complete like 180. Like, I woke up today, I had tons of fucking DMs, tons of tags on Twitter, everybody saying PP, Short Destroyer is trying to get a hold of you. I'm like, what? And the first thing I saw was Sal's message. He's like, yeah, he's trying to get a hold of you. I'm like, fuck that. And then, I sat here and considered it, and I reached out to him and to find out what was going on, and he essentially apologized. I mean, he apologized for everything. He said he was sorry for.
Oh, what was I holding? Outdated prop comedy. That's what I was holding. Carrot Top dropped it off a while ago. He won't stop. Please make him leave me alone.
What he had said to people, things like that, and essentially that's all it was. He had said that he's going to go ahead and get the subreddit back up as well. He made a public apology to the community, including Pulte. So, yeah, I mean, the dude's done completely a 180, but, I know a lot of people out there, I see it in the chat, like, they say, like, don't forgive him and things like that in his apology. And I think everybody should do what they want. If you don't want to, get along with this person, you don't have to. And that's the beauty of, who you pick and choose to associate with. So the only thing I did was reach out to him, try to bury the hatchet for our community's sake, obviously, because I don't want our community getting attacked, things like that.
I feel so bad for Travis. He always looks so sad now. I really hope he's okay. He's constantly talking about how depressed he is. Like, he really probably needs some support.
So, if I need to take that stance to, just try to bury the hatchet, then,
What happened to ABC? He's around sometimes. The rumors appeared to not be true. I know there are some rumors coming out of Gasp. 4chan. A 4chan rumor turned out not to be true? Has that ever happened before? No, there was a rumor on 4chan that ABC had a big meltdown on their Discord and got mad and quit, but he showed up a couple times days after that, so that rumor wasn't. So if you heard that, I don't think there was evidence of it.
I'm just trying to do what's best for the community at the end of the day, but not everybody will agree, and that's fine. And everybody's entitled to their own opinion, and we value your opinion here at the show. But you're right, man. He did a 180, man, like big time. And, like, I'm not saying I'm cool with the guy or anything like that. I think right now it's just there's not going to be any more back and forth fighting, which I think is good, for where.
The guy with the meltdown on the PP show, do you mean AJ? Is that what you're talking about? Or is it RJ? AJ or RJ? That guy? He did do a video a while back that was pretty interesting. We covered it. It was when the company formerly known as Bed Bath & Beyond finally changed their name to DK Butterfly because they had to, because they sold the name Bed Bath & Beyond to Overstock. He did a reaction video to that was pretty kooky and full of conspiratorial thinking. I don't think I've heard since then, though. He was at least on the PP show once or twice since then. I haven't covered the PP show quite as much. I used to listen to it like every single episode. These days, a lot of it's just going over the same stuff over and over and over and over. Which is why we're probably shifting more, if we are covering meme stock stuff, to... Obviously, when the Pulte party happens or doesn't happen, either way, that's going to be an interesting thing to see the reaction to. But I feel like after this community just has to, like, slowly bleed out, right? Like after the Pulte party, where are they going to move the goalposts?
Where it's at. So, but yeah, I mean, Sal, someone's gotta, address it and say, the things that are facts. So, right on.
Yeah, and also I need to go in a minute, but before I go, everyone listening, there's 1,800 of you. Within the next few weeks, the narrative's going to change. The amount of people that...
I agree. In the next few weeks, the narrative is going to change, as it has every week, the entire existence of this community.
come to PP's show, come to Twitter, come to PP's community to try and find information is going to grow exponentially. And this is the FOMO that they've been trying to suppress for the last year, the last 2 years since they've targeted Reddit. All I ask is you guys like PP's video,
targeted
subscribe to his channel, comment on his fucking videos. While you're sitting here listening in, go back, feed the fucking algorithm, guys, because once it starts trending, they need to come here to find out the most accurate and best information because we're unstoppable. And every bit of FOMO that
Unless you get banned like you did on Reddit. Then you'll be stopped. But until then, you're unstoppable!
comes in is just great for us. It amplifies the noise. It amplifies the truth because mainstream media are not going to tell the story the way we will. And as Holly Edlin said, it isn't her.
Salvatore's a member of a club that I like to call... I'm sorry. He's part of the club that Sargon's in, and it's their entire internet presence is basically built upon the foundation of Americans thinking anyone with an English accent is smart. That's the category Salvatore fits into is, oh my goodness, an Englishman? He must know things.
Her story to tell that someone else's. Well, we'll do
Kind of funny.
our damn best to get it out there the right way we can.
Amen. Amen, man. Again, I think that it's good that, there's a lot of, like, for instance, like the docket stuff as well today. So there's some interesting stuff that's been coming out over the last couple of days. So, yeah.
All right. Well, thank you guys. Take care. Have a great evening. I'm going to listen in.
All right. Take care, Sal. Thanks for coming on.
Hi, Sal.
Just to add to that real quick, what surprised me.
Sal loves me. Freyline says, what don't these tickets cover? Because for $500 per person with 125 to 200 people, I could put together full catering, open bar at a decent space, and include one night stay at my hotel within a week with money left over. Any half-competent assistant / planner could do this. You are assuming Polte is trying.
Me was that I'm not gonna lie, when people were saying, oh, it's probably photoshopped, I was like, that's a little conspiratorial.
I wanted to give them the benefit of the doubt. Yeah.
And so when that was true, I was like, what? Like, it just shows the level to which they're trying to make a psyop happen.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
It was definitely weird for sure.
A guy pranking you isn't a psyop, Michael.
Sure, yeah.
My biggest issue was...
Is he one of the transphobes or just a nasty guy? He is a transphobe and a nasty guy.
Somebody posted an image.
Wait, actually, maybe he didn't do the transphobic stuff. Maybe he just did the shitty stuff. Either way, he was insulting me on a personal level instead of actually discussing the things we were saying. Which, of course, I just did to him here, but that's because it's Salvatore, and, fuck him.
Today.
He's under no obligation to engage with me in good faith. And vice versa. He's a dick, though. So.
Of something short destroyer.
Mightiest Quinn, thanks for the raid. Welcome, Raiders. How's it going? Stream's almost done, but we are watching some of the meme stock people that we cover. I usually cover conspiratorial thinking, and this group believe that they're going to get rich off of Bed Bath & Beyond stock that does not exist anymore. So that's fun. Check out Mightiest Quinn.
Put out starting October 26th. He had a text message to be like, oh yeah, PB thinks all these new subscribers are for him, but like it's just a plan. Don't worry.
I will say this. I don't remember if Salvatore directly said anything transphobic, but he definitely directed his audience to me, and they pretty much all were.
Subs going down.
So he certainly didn't disagree with it, but I also think he maybe doesn't want to get his account banned from Twitter, even though they don't really give a shit about transphobia these days. So I think he was just abstaining, but who knows?
On the third week of November.
Mm-hmm.
And then there was something else in it. I can pull it up, but I don't want to give it too much credit. I mean, I don't spotlight this person.
Yeah.
I'll say
we got exciting shit to cover tonight.
Yeah. If he say, look, I had to come to Jesus, I want to turn around and make this right. Here's what I say. You basically showed the playbook for how y'all get subs taken down.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you were a part of it or if this was a weird prediction and it just came true.
Your sub got taken down because you were harassing Platinum Sparkles and making weird misogynistic comments and conspiracy theories. It was gross. It's pretty cut and dry.
And you said you're going to make an effort to get the sub back. Talk is cheap.
Hmm.
That's it. Like, show
Right.
me. And
Yeah.
until you show me, you know, I'm gonna sit back, relax, and keep doing what I'm doing. Until you show me you've made changes, you know, I can't prove anything.
Yeah,
So
right on. All right, beautifully
Right
said.
on.
All right, so since we have dressed that tonight as well, Bill Pulte is a total badass, man. Let's go ahead and bring in Jake 2B. So, chat, please give a warm welcome to Jake 2B.
Intense.
Jake, how the fuck you doing tonight, man?
That's my favorite part. How are you, man? How's it going? Hey, everybody.
Good to see you, man. Good to see you.
Great to see you guys. Hi, Michael. Hey,
Right on.
Travis. Oh, sloppy. Thank you for the dependable GIF there. PP, what's going on? And hated
That's the most offensive thing I've heard so far. Holy shit, he just called it a GIF.
the chat. How's everyone doing?
Good, man. We're doing great. We have some really exciting stuff to get into tonight. You know, this potential docket has a lot of things pertaining to Knowles, things like that. Preservation of the ticker, I think we should definitely cover. And then if you want to jump into some other stuff tonight, man, we are all ears tonight.
Sure, man. Yeah, I had a whole thing prepared that I wanted to go over, but then this docket kind of you know, really took over the forefront, which I think it's great that it did because there's a lot of great information in there, even a lot.
Why does Jake to be kind of look like an AI image generator tried to make David Tennant doctor?
better
Yeah,
than the,
But like blurry.
than the ticker preservation. So I'm happy to get into whatever, man. Just let me go with the flow.
Okay, yeah, we can go get into both tonight. That sounds great. So real quick, let me just call these off before they leave my screen here. Rusty Shackelford with the 50 fucking memberships. Holy
Jesus Christ, people who are giving money to PP. You know, the GameStop people, there's not much I can directly tell you, you know? I think you're making bad decisions in my opinion, but that's just what it is, you know? You're an adult. You're going to do what you want to do. PP people, stop giving money to PP. Even if you think everything he's saying is true, why are you giving him money? He doesn't need it. He sold 100 fucking tickets to the Pulte party for $500 a pop. Like, why in the world are you giving him money? Stop.
Holy shit, Rusty. Appreciate your support of the PP show, man. If you got a membership, be sure to give thanks in the chat, fellas. We also got a PP note here, or I'm sorry, a short hedge fund butt rammer with the jacked PP membership, man. Right on, dude. Appreciate your support. We also got Bob with the 500. Holy shit.
This is from yesterday, and someone is giving him $500.
Shit.
Since we're talking about meme stocks and they like The Big Short, you know that scene after the Steve Carell character is doing the interviews and he finds out that that woman who's an exotic dancer owns like 5 houses, and it hard cuts to him being like, "We're in a bubble." These people giving PP $500 is my "we're in a bubble" moment.
Great news from
Sid, thanks for 8 months, says money for you. Thank you. I appreciate
Pulte on additional Pulte on additional places for December 14th. What a great community and great opportunity.
Hope these people have money to spare. I'm not even going to say most of them, a lot of them don't. I don't know all their situations, but of the ones I have seen posted about, many of them cannot afford this, even a little bit. They are paying with the expectation that they are about to be rich. I think even at least one person mentioned that they put the $500 for the Pulte party on a credit card, which is depressing.
To join, please count me in and let's make it great. Get really excited about tomorrow. Right on, Bob. We can't wait to meet you, man. Appreciate the 500, and be sure to get with me on Twitter. I know there are some people commenting on that Twitter post. I will reach out to you guys, and we'll get you guys a ticket as well. We got Hanky also with the 5 PP Show memberships, man. Right on, Hanky. Appreciate your support. And again, if you got a membership from Hank, be sure to give it thanks in the chat. All right, let's go ahead and take it. We're going to let Travis take over here just for a moment. And
all right. We've been going 3.5 hours. I think it's probably time to tap out. I wasn't expecting the interview with Morance. I'm going to go celebrate my wife's birthday with her. So I'm probably not going to be online pretty much for the rest of the day. But I hope you enjoyed this stream. Hope you enjoy the Morance section. If anyone posts in Meltdown and wants to take the Morance section and post it, feel free. That's fine. Other than that, I hope y'all have a great night. Let's see who I'm going to raid on Twitch. Have good cake. Surf. We've raided Surf. Alright. Have a great night. This raid. If you're on YouTube, make sure you like the stream. Also, you could go to my recent shorts. I've been putting up shorts. If you would give those a like, I'd appreciate it. If you want to help out the channel, but you don't want to, like, throw a tip or anything, but you're like, share or like or whatever. Like the videos, like the shorts. Naked shorts. See, it came full circle. Anyway, have a great night, everyone. I'll see you all later. See you tomorrow.